Chapter 1344. Mrs. AI took the opportunity to talk to Ning Shu about Cheng Fei. She was trying to stop Ning Shu from divorcing Cheng Fei. AI Yun, you're my daughter. I want someone to take care of you. Cheng Fei is a good candidate. I don't understand why you insist on getting a divorce. Ning Shu said indifferently, I'll think about it. Rest well. I'll take care of everything at home. I'll cook. Ning Shu knew that this would be the case. Look at how people are willing to die for you. How can you be so indifferent? Ning Shu hated this situation. He had to force her. It was as if she was wrong when everyone else was right. Ning Shu was afraid that Mrs. AI would nag about Cheng Fei again, so he quickly left the room. Back in his room, Ning Shu took out his computer and entered Tian Hai's account number. Ning Shu didn't know Tian Hai's password, so he could only change it. Ning Shu checked the IP address of this number last time it was logged in. There were a lot of logins, but the IP address was fake. There were IP addresses from all over the world. It was obvious that he was using an IP address virtual machine. Ning Shu browsed through these IP addresses and saw an address in a local city. Ning Shu quickly recorded this address and checked it. Coincidentally, this cafe was close to Cheng Fei's clinic. Ning Shu sneered. Ning Shu even suspected that Cheng Fei knew everything about her family. He knew about Professor AI's work environment and even her students. If that was the case, Cheng Fei was scarier than she thought. A person's energy was limited. Cheng Fei had to collect these things in addition to work every day. He also had to take care of her, who was mentally ill. He was simply superhuman. Break cable, handkerchief, IP address. These were more or less related to Cheng Fei. That meant Cheng Fei didn't have good intentions towards her. Why did Cheng Fei kill AI Yun's parents? What did AI Yun's parents do to him? Or did he kill AI Yun's parents so that AI Yun could only rely on him and would never leave him again? Or was it because Cheng Fei wanted to do something to AI Yun and AI Yun's parents were in the way, so he got rid of them? Fuck, no matter which one it was, they were all so fucking perverted. Li Chang had already given up on the kidnapping operation because he was moved by Ning Shu's words, but when Cheng Fei appeared, he immediately changed his mind. The situation took a turn for the worse. It was said that opposites attract and those of the same sex fight. Women and women, men and men. Especially Cheng Fei and Li Chang, it was simply a crushing comparison. Li Chang was even despised by Cheng Fei. It would be strange if he could remain calm. Li Chang was so agitated that he pushed people away. In the end, Cheng Fei even knocked him downstairs. Once a person had doubts, no matter what he did, he would have doubts in his heart. Just like now, Ning Shu had many doubts about Cheng Fei. If he told a lie, even if he told the truth, he would still suspect whether he was lying or not. It was not easy to build trust, but it was easy to destroy it. Not to mention that Ning Shu had these things in his hands. It was fine if it was a coincidence, but the more things there were, the more it proved that Cheng Fei's thoughts were not pure. Ayun, make some soup for Cheng Fei. Professor AI knocked on Ning Shu's door. I'll go with you to see Cheng Fei later. Ning Shu closed his laptop and said, Cheng Fei is dizzy and nauseous now. How can he? There's no need to make soup. Making soup? Was it troublesome? Professor AI stared at Ning Shu. Whether Cheng Fei drinks or not is his business. Whether you do it or not is your intention. I say, girl, do you have a heart? Ning Shu was speechless. Did he want her to cry bitterly and be out of her wits? What's more, for someone who deliberately wanted to hurt her, it was already merciful of her not to cremate him. Amit ba. Ning Shu changed the topic and asked, what are you going to do about Li Chang's matter? Are you going to appeal? A case like Li Chang's was already considered a criminal case, not an ordinary civil case. It did not mean that it would be fine if Professor AI did not pursue it. Just as Cheng Fei said, kidnapping was a felony. Thinking of what Cheng Fei said, Ning Shu realized that Cheng Fei was very likely proficient in the law. Sometimes, the law was not meant to be obeyed, but used to be used. If used well, even if one committed a crime, they might be acquitted. If he had prepared these words in advance, it meant that Cheng Fei knew that there might be a kidnapping and deliberately said these words to pressure Li Chang. If he did not know, he would have casually said the law. He also knew how to sentence him. No matter what, it meant that Cheng Fei was not simple. Professor AI saw Ning Shu in a daze. "Come with me to see Cheng Fei later." Ning Shu came back to his senses. "I got it." Ning Shu took out his phone and listened to the voice recorded at that time. He listened to Cheng Fei's words repeatedly. Cheng Fei was provoking Li Chang. People did not like others to look down on them. Li Chang was an inferior and conceited person. He was taciturn and had a strong self-esteem. A thesis had been rejected more than 10 times. He did not ask the professor where the problem was and just did it so many times. Ning Shu heaved a sigh of relief. "Oh, Cheng Fei." Professor AI asked Ning Shu to go to the hospital. Ning Shu had just returned from the hospital and did not want to see Cheng Fei at all. How could a person be split? On one hand, he was affectionate, and on the other hand, he killed your whole family. He definitely had schizophrenia. Ning Shu had goosebumps. "I'll take care of Mom at home." "You can go," Ning Shu said to Professor AI. Professor AI thought that his wife was still in shock. It was good to have someone at home, so he went alone. Ning Shu was in the kitchen cooking porridge for Mother AI. He stirred the spoon and suddenly stopped. Ning Shu turned off the fire, took off his apron, and said to Mother AI, "Mom, I'm going out for a while. Don't walk around." Ning Shu ran out of the house with his bag. Ning Shu hit his head. How could he be so stupid? How could he let Professor AI go alone to see Cheng Fei? It was very likely that Cheng Fei was the mastermind behind the kidnapping. The AI family's parents had a good impression of Cheng Fei. How could they be wary of Cheng Fei? Ning Shu rushed to the hospital. When he rushed to the ward, he found Cheng Fei sitting on the bed and talking to Professor AI. Professor AI saw Ning Shu in a hurry and asked, "Did something happen to your mother?" Ning Shu rolled his eyes and said, "Yes, Mom is in pain all over. She needs you to go back and feed her." Professor AI said to Cheng Fei, who was lying on the bed, "Have a good rest. I'm going back to see your mother-in-law." Cheng Fei immediately said, "Dad, you go back first. I'm fine." Professor AI left, and only Ning Shu and Cheng Fei were left in the ward. Cheng Fei smiled at Ning Shu. "Why did you send me away? Do you have something to tell me?" Ning Shu shrugged. "Nothing. Did you do a CT scan? Is there anything wrong with your brain?" Chapter 1345. Ning Shu hoped that there was something wrong with Cheng Fei's brain and that he would not have any bad ideas all day. "Fortunately, it's just a concussion. It's not that serious. I am a doctor myself, so I know what's going on. Don't worry." Cheng Fei said gently as he looked at Ning Shu with sparkling eyes. "Ning Shu, I'm not worried at all." Ning Shu was annoyed, but he pretended to ask casually, "You know the law? Didn't I tell you before that I studied law? But it's just superficial knowledge. My real job is a doctor." Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu. "Don't you remember?" Ning Shu shrugged. "I don't remember at all. Maybe you told me before, but I don't remember it at all." Ning Shu felt that Cheng Fei was testing him, so he simply said that he did not know anything. What if he did not tell AI Yun? Cheng Fei sighed and looked at Ning Shu lovingly. I'm a little hungry. I want to eat something." Ning Shu asked him back. "Can you eat now? Don't vomit after eating." Cheng Fei nodded. "I don't feel that bad anymore." Ning Shu went out to buy food for Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei called out to Ning Shu. Ning Shu turned to look at him. Cheng Fei smiled and said, "Just order some porridge." Ning Shu nodded. Ning Shu ordered some porridge and asked someone to send it to him. She was too lazy to go back to the hospital, so she walked by the roadside. How should she deal with Cheng Fei? She didn't know what Cheng Fei was asking for. Was it to cheat insurance? But Cheng Fei did not look like he was short of money. He had a house and a car. He looked like a very romantic person. Ning Shu did not believe that he was doing it for money. He felt that he was doing these things for a more respectable ideal. Ning Shu had never met such a person. If Cheng Fei really wanted to kill the two elders of the AI family, or even AI Yun, Cheng Fei was the real bigot. He was the kind of bigot who was good at social functions and had a high IQ and was good at hiding. Ning Shu was speechless. Truly, there were all sorts of strange things in the boundless universe. Ning Shu was wondering if she should tell the AI family's elderly couple about this. However, Cheng Fei always presented a positive image in front of outsiders. He was handsome, rich, and had a good character. Just like when she wanted to get a divorce, Mrs. AI had always told her not to be pretentious and that Cheng Fei was a good man. Moreover, he was the kind of man that she would never meet again if she missed him in this lifetime. Anyone who saw him would give him a thumbs up. Fuck, he's managed his image really well. Ning Shu went to the police station, intending to ask the police. No matter how Cheng Fei tried to disguise himself, he would not be able to escape once there was evidence. Ning Shu went to the police station and took out the IP address he found before. The real IP address was shown to the police. It's this person who stole Tian Hai's chat number. It's this person who instigated Li Chang to commit the crime, so this person should be found. The police officer held Ning Shu's evidence. The people from the technical department have also found these things. The problem is that this IP address is in the coffee shop. How many people are there in the coffee shop every day? There are more people who have used the coffee shop's network, so there's no way to check this. The police officer said. Ning Shu suspected Cheng Fei in his heart, but he could not say it out loud. Li Chang is at most an executor. The person who instigated Li Chang to commit the crime is the mastermind. I suspect that it's my father's enemy who found Li Chang and used him to achieve his goal of revenge. I think we should start investigating from the surroundings of the coffee shop. People who are far away from the coffee shop wouldn't come all the way here to drink coffee. It should be the people around here. The police officer nodded. We've already sent people to guard the coffee shop. You can rest assured about this. Ning Shu nodded. The police officer thought for a moment, and Ning Shu asked, "There's your husband's clinic around this coffee shop. What do you think?" Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. Was he suspecting Cheng Fei? Ning Shu indicated that his suspicion was quite high. Ning Shu shook his head. My husband's clinic is around here, but my husband is definitely not the leader of this matter. We think it's an acquaintance who committed this crime. The police officer said. Are you still investigating this matter? The police officer asked. Ning Shu bit his lips, his expression conflicted, and then nodded firmly. This matter must be investigated thoroughly. This concerns my father's personal safety. However, this matter shouldn't be done by my husband. He has always been very filial and treats my parents as his own mother, so this matter must not be done by my husband. Even if we're going to get a divorce, he's still very good to our family. I'll take the liberty to ask, are you guys getting a divorce? The police officer Ning Shu asked. Ning Shu nodded, yes, we're getting a divorce. Then what's the reason for the divorce? The police officer continued to ask, while writing in his notebook. Ning Shu hesitated a little and did not want to say. Please tell us the truth. It might be helpful for the case. The police officer encouraged Ning Shu. Ning Shu helplessly told the police that Cheng Fei had installed cameras in the house and sewed something in her wound. The police officer looked solemn and asked, why did he sew a tracking device in your wound and install so many cameras to spy on you? Ning Shu sighed again, saying that her husband thought that she had a mental disorder. The police officer understood the situation from Ning Shu, and then asked Ning Shu to go home, saying that he would inform Ning Shu if anything happened. If possible, he wanted Ning Shu to give them the key to Cheng Fei's clinic so that they could investigate thoroughly. Ning Shu shook her head. She did not have the key to Cheng Fei's clinic. What kind of husband and wife were they if they did not even have the key? She was raising a canary. Ai Yun could not participate in Cheng Fei's financial situation at all, so she did not know what Cheng Fei bought. Ning Shu went home. Ai Yun's mother had already woken up. When she saw Ning Shu, she asked, aren't you keeping watch at the hospital? Cheng Fei is alone. It's inconvenient for him to be alone. Ning Shu thought every time Ai Yun's mother mentioned Cheng Fei, she would feel sorry for him. She felt that Cheng Fei was very pitiful. The more she acted like this, the more Ning Shu's heart trembled. Cheng Fei had disguised himself well to deceive people. There are so many nurses in the hospital. If he needs anything, he can go to them. Ning Shu spread out her hands and said, AI Yun's mother was speechless. Look at you. Your husband fell from more than 10 meters and you're still acting like this. How can you be like this? Yes, I am heartless, unrighteous, and unreasonable. Okay? Ning Shu said sadly. Yes, you are heartless, unrighteous, and unreasonable. Ning Shu, that in terms of the lethality of a good-looking and financially strong man to a woman, she felt that AI Yun's mother wanted to put her and Ching Fei together. In comparison, Professor AI was much more rational. AI Yun's mother was too emotional. Chapter 1346. In the end, Ning Shu didn't go to the hospital to take care of Cheng Fei. Instead, he picked up a broom and a mop and started cleaning. Ning Shu wanted to check if the AI family had cameras or something like that. Right now, she was already panicking. She had to ensure the safety of the AI family's elderly couple. What did they do wrong? She believed in Cheng Fei and married her daughter to Cheng Fei. She treated Cheng Fei well but still lost her life because of it. Who could they blame? Blame the old couple from the AI clan? Blame themselves for being stupid and for trusting others so easily? Who would have thought that his son-in-law was such a person? Most people wouldn't guard against the people they were close to. Mrs. AI sat on the sofa and looked at Ning Shu as he cleaned the house. Don't do it anymore. Go to the hospital and take care of Cheng Fei. Don't go too far. It's disappointing. Even if he is an ordinary person, you shouldn't be like this when a stranger saves you like this. Moreover, Cheng Fei is your husband, the person you depend on to reach the end of your life. Ning Shu straightened up and couldn't help but pick his ear. Mom, can you stop talking about Cheng Fei in my ear every day? Now I feel irritated whenever I hear him. AI's mother opened her mouth but couldn't say a word. Ning Shu saw her like this and his heart softened. He said, Mom, there are other secrets to your kidnapping. In addition to Li Chang, there are also people behind the scenes. Now the police are tracking down the murderer. The police told us not to go out as much as possible. If there's anything, call us. Cheng Fei will be fine. Mrs. AI didn't mention anything about Cheng Fei either. She was afraid that her daughter would be annoyed and have a rebellious mentality. She really didn't want to lose such a good son-in-law. Moreover, he was good to her daughter. If it were someone else, Mother AI wouldn't say anything if they couldn't live anymore. She was willing to give up her life for her daughter. Mrs. AI felt that there was nothing she couldn't get over. Seeing that Mother AI had stopped talking, Ning Shu heaved a sigh of relief. He felt that Mother AI was going through menopause. She liked to nag over and over again. Of course, he couldn't rule out the possibility that it was because he liked Cheng Fei as his son-in-law. Ning Shu continued to clean. He didn't even let go of the underside of the table. Perhaps there were listening devices. Mrs. AI rolled her eyes when she saw Ning Shu crawling on the ground and then leaning against the wall like a gecko. This daughter of his looked really abnormal. Ning Shu didn't find anything strange for the time being, so he sat down. Thinking of his own mental strength, he simply released his mental strength. A formless spiritual power was released from Ning Shu's head. Wherever the spiritual power went, nothing could hide. Ning Shu even saw a coin under the sofa and a thick layer of dust. To think that mental strength could be used in such a way. In the past, he had to look for things everywhere with his but stuck out. When Ning Shu scanned Mother AI, he actually knew what kind of underwear Mother AI was wearing today. He also knew all the characteristics of her body. It was as if Mother AI was naked in front of her. She had X-ray vision. However, this consumed a lot of mental energy. After a short while, Ning Shu's face turned pale. He had overdrawn his mental energy. Ning Shu collapsed on the sofa with a terrible headache. Ning Shu discovered another skill that could be used in this way. The last time he had escaped from planet Selder, he had used his mental power to avoid the spaceship. This time, he had once again explored the use of mental strength. Ning Shu was once again called by the police for questioning. They were all asking about Cheng Fei and Professor AI. When Ning Shu saw the police like this, he was a little excited. This time they suspected Cheng Fei. When Professor AI heard the police's question, he was stunned for a moment before he came back to his senses and answered the police honestly. The police officer Ning Shu asked, What kind of person do you think your husband is? He's a good person, very good, Ning Shu said. He's good-looking, capable, and knows how to make money. We'll go around and investigate your husband. Your husband has a very good reputation and his evaluation is very positive. Other than installing cameras at home and implanting a locator in your body, is there anything else? Please think about it and answer us honestly. The police officer looked at Ning Shu. Ning Shu shook his head. No, there's nothing excessive. The police officer saw that Ning Shu looked hesitant, as if he was hiding something. He immediately said, "Please tell us the truth." Ning Shu spread his hands. "I have nothing to say, and I'm not hiding anything. Ms. AI, you have to think about it. There is a very dangerous person around you who threatens the safety of your family. Are you going to cover for him?" Ning Shu's expression did not change. "I've already said that my husband is not such a person. How many times do you want me to say it? Why are you investigating my husband instead of other people? Ms. AI, this matter has a great impact. Not only Li Chang, but also your father's school. And your school's principal has also asked us to investigate this matter clearly. This is related to the school's reputation. A student kidnapping is different from an instigated kidnapping," the police officer said. Ning Shu touched his bag with a hesitant expression. The police officer saw Ning Shu's actions and asked, "Ms. AI, I hope you can think about it carefully." Ning Shu took a deep breath and shook his head. "My husband is not that kind of person. I have nothing to say." Ning Shu stood up and left with his bag. As soon as he left the police station, Professor AI frowned and said, "Are the police suspecting Cheng Fei now? It's not that they suspect Cheng Fei, but this matter is committed by an acquaintance. Cheng Fei's clinic happens to be near the coffee shop. Any human action has a purpose and meaning. Why did Cheng Fei do this? Is it because I agreed to your divorce? Besides, with Cheng Fei's conditions, even if he gets divorced, he can marry a good girl. There's really no need to pay such a high price." Ning Shu spread his hands. Who knows what Cheng Fei is thinking? However, I think if it's really Cheng Fei, why did he save you and make himself in such a sorry state? He even fell from the stairs. If he's not careful, he will be injured or even die. Professor AI thought about it and couldn't figure out Cheng Fei's purpose. Moreover, he only left such a real IP address. Why did he leave such an address for people to investigate? Ning Shu was also puzzled after much thought. Don't tell your mother about this first. She just had such a thing and hasn't recovered yet. Professor AI told Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. I know. Don't mind your mother's nagging. Your mother is worried for you. She's worried that no one will take care of you after we leave. Cheng Fei seems to be a very responsible man. Your mother insists on not letting you divorce. Professor AI rubbed his eyebrows. Chapter 1347. Professor AI looked a little tired. No matter what this matter was, it was still a scandal. His student kidnapped his wife. He couldn't stay in school anymore. He had to face punishment. Ning Shu looked at Professor AI and said, Dad, I was driving our car and the brakes were broken. The garage said that the brake cable was worn out. But we don't use the car much. How could the brake cable be worn out like that? Besides you, only Cheng Fei drove this car, Ning Shu said. Professor AI narrowed his eyes. So you think Cheng Fei did it? Ning Shu shook his head. It's useless to say anything without evidence. I just want to say that so many things have happened in our family recently. It's really strange. Since I said I wanted a divorce. Ning Shu spread his hands. I'm just suspecting. Then let's assume that Cheng Fei didn't want to divorce you, so he did this. Professor AI looked puzzled. But your mother likes Cheng Fei the most. She's very opposed to your divorce. Why would he hurt your mother? What if it's someone who wants to kill our family from the start? Don't talk about feelings. Don't jump to conclusions without evidence. Let's wait for the police to investigate. Professor AI didn't expect this to happen. It was a student's matter. In the end, he suspected his family. Ning Shu nodded and touched his bag. He didn't want to take out these things for the time being. Ning Shu felt that Cheng Fei wasn't easy to deal with. He couldn't take out his trump card too early. He had to at least keep something in hand. Ning Shu got into the car and thought about Cheng Fei's information. In the memory of the original AI Yun, Cheng Fei was an orphan who was adopted by a Chinese couple. This couple was Cheng Fei's sponsor, but they didn't live with him. The couple spent most of their time abroad, but Cheng Fei grew up in China. That was to say, AI Yun had only seen this pair of parents-in-law during their wedding. Other times, there was no news about them at all. Cheng Fei said that his adoptive parents traveled around the world and couldn't be contacted. It was like he didn't have parents. Once again, he found one of Cheng Fei's strengths. He had a car and a house, but his parents were both dead. I should investigate Cheng Fei's adoptive parents. I don't know where they are now. After adopting a child, they didn't live together and left the child in the country. Didn't they think about how the child should live? It did feel rather strange. Maybe Cheng Fei was lying when he said that he didn't receive any foreign education. He didn't think too much about it before, but now that he thought about it, Cheng Fei had a loophole. Furthermore, the original owner, AI Yun, had never contacted her in-laws. Perhaps these in-laws did not exist. In that case, Cheng Fei might not have been adopted at all. Instead, he made up the story that he was adopted by a Chinese couple. Then, the orphanage where Cheng Fei would stay in would have Cheng Fei's previous information. But where was Cheng Fei's orphanage? He knew nothing about Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei was becoming more and more mysterious. If Cheng Fei was really an orphan, it must not have been easy for him to fight so hard. Ning Shu scratched her head. Where should she go to find an orphanage? Moreover, it had been so many years. Was the orphanage that Cheng Fei had stayed in still around? Ning Shu realized that the simpler the plot, the fewer useful things there were. The original owner felt that her husband had killed her, but so far, there had been no progress in this matter. Do you want to go to the hospital to see Cheng Fei? Professor AI asked. This matter hasn't been concluded yet. What if the murderer isn't Cheng Fei? To be honest, I don't want Cheng Fei to do this. Your mother and I have always treated Cheng Fei as our own son. We treat you and him equally. I believe you and I'm willing to believe him, Professor AI said. Ning Shu sighed. Of course not. We're about to get a divorce. How can we still be together? Professor AI was speechless. You suspect Cheng Fei, so you don't want to see him. Ning Shu shook her head. I don't want to leave you and Mom now. The crisis you're in is not over yet. Li Chang did such a thing because of the thesis. The person behind this is eyeing Li Yong covetously. He knows about Li Yong's matter and instigated Li Yong. Professor AI drove in silence. Ning Shu couldn't help but ask Professor AI, are you usually very strict with your students and force them to do this? Professor AI coughed. Do you think your father is that kind of person? Students nowadays are too weak mentally. In the past, they would have wished that their teachers would talk to them more. Professor AI wiped his face. Besides, being strict with them is for their own good. If they don't learn now, are they going to ask others when they leave the school? They've already spent money. Don't learn what you need to learn. Ning Shu listened to Professor AI's chatter and knew what kind of teaching method Professor AI had. Good medicine is bitter, and you'll complain. Do I really look strict? Professor AI couldn't help but ask. I'm just asking students to do what they should do. Am I going overboard? Ning Shu was speechless. Actually, people were like this. If they hadn't suffered a loss, they would always be lucky. These students were the same. However, everything goes in the opposite direction. Too much is as bad as not enough. You're not strict, Dad. You're a great teacher, Ning Shu said. Professor AI nodded. Exactly. Back home, Ning Shu turned on his computer and planned to hack into the education system to check Cheng Fei's school records. He might be able to find the orphanage that Cheng Fei used to stay in. Ning Shu's fingers flew across the keyboard. He spent some time hacking into the system. He entered Cheng Fei's name. However, many of Cheng Fei's names popped up. Cheng Fei didn't have a special name. There were many people with the same name. Ning Shu entered the age filter. Ning Shu scrolled the mouse and looked at the photos on the school records. Finally, he fixed his gaze on a photo. His eyes and eyebrows were similar to Cheng Fei's. His eyes were young and his eyes were calm. It should be him. Ning Shu browsed through Cheng Fei's education history. There was no information before he graduated from primary school. There was only information in middle school. Moreover, he had transferred back from overseas. This meant that Cheng Fei was not in the country before he was 12 years old. Could it be that Cheng Fei was really adopted? But why did he suddenly come back? Ning Shu stared at the information on the computer. He saw the parents' information. It was a string of names of foreigners who were already dead. When the original owner and Cheng Fei got married, he saw this pair of parents-in-law. However, this couple died when Cheng Fei was 12 years old. Chapter 1348. Maybe his adoptive parents died, so he was sent back to China? Then why did Cheng Fei create a fake set of parents? He probably hired his parents. Ning Shu clicked his tongue. He felt that Cheng Fei really knew how to play. He was really a jinx. He was an orphan since he was young. Someone adopted him and even his adoptive parents died. After browsing through the information, Ning Shu couldn't find the orphanage where Cheng Fei used to live. Because Cheng Fei's information started from when he was 12 years old. All the information before that was from overseas. It was blank. Ning Shu exited the system and cleared his hacking records. The education system belonged to the country after all. He didn't want to get caught. So, he checked but didn't find anything useful. At most, Cheng Fei had lied about his adoptive parents. They were already dead, but he still made his adoptive parents appear at the wedding. Then why did Cheng Fei lie? It was because he didn't want AI Yun to know that his adoptive parents were dead. That meant that Cheng Fei didn't want anyone to know that he was overseas. Something must have happened. Ning Shu pulled her hair. Oh my God. Why was this so complicated? He felt that it would be extremely difficult to catch Cheng Fei's tail. This was a lawful society. Ning Shu couldn't kill him directly. When AI Yun came back, she found herself in jail. This feeling was really awesome. It was like a dream. When I woke up, I was in jail. I was wronged. Ning Shu was racking his brains to think of a solution when his phone rang. It was Cheng Fei. Ning Shu stared at his phone. Should he pick it up? Should he pick it up? Ning Shu picked it up decisively. What's the matter? AI Yun, you haven't come to see me in a long time. I miss you. Cheng Fei's voice was magnetic and charming. It felt like his voice was doing something to her ears. Ning Shu sat cross-legged on the bed. Something happened at home. How are you? I'm fine. I've been discharged. You didn't come to pick me up. Cheng Fei sounded aggrieved. And this was only over the phone. If they were face-to-face, looking at a pair of pitiful Bambi's pitiful and aggrieved look, wouldn't one's heart melt? Ning Shu decisively cut off his own thoughts. If he continued to think like this, Ning Shu felt that his little maternal instinct was about to be aroused. Men who knew how to act coquettishly were the best. Cheng Fei, tell me about your childhood. I realize that I really don't know anything about you. Ning Shu said, I know nothing about you. What do you want to know? I'm an orphan. When I was 5, I was taken in by a Chinese couple. They supported me all the way until I graduated from university. Cheng Fei's tone remained unchanged. What about the orphanage you used to stay in? Are you still going back? I'll go back with you one day. Maybe you can find your biological parents. Cheng Fei pondered for a moment. I don't want to find my biological parents. I was abandoned before I could remember anything. This means that my existence is very distressing to them. If they try their best to find me, it will only make things more awkward. It's best if we don't disturb each other. The orphanage I used to stay in closed more than 10 years ago because no one donated money. The place has been built into villas by developers. Ning Shu, my heart, Ayun, I'll wait for you at home. Are you coming back? Cheng Fei asked. Whether we are getting a divorce or not, I want to see you. I feel happy when I see you. Ning Shu covered his ears. He couldn't listen to this anymore. Ning Shu coughed. I have to take care of my mother. I can't go back for now. Take good care of yourself. Cheng Fei said pitifully, oh. Then he said some words of concern. Cheng Fei didn't hang up the phone. Ning Shu could hear his slight panting on the other side. Why didn't you hang up? I'll wait for you. Ning Shu hung up the phone with a hard heart. Being handsome didn't work for Ning Shu at all. If Cheng Fei was ugly and something like this happened, the AI couple would hurry to get a divorce. A handsome pervert was not a pervert. Instead, it made people feel sorry for him. An ugly pervert was really a pervert. There was no other way. People were tolerant of good-looking people. This was an advantage. Sigh, beauty misled people. Ning Shu went out of the bedroom to cook. Recently, the food at home was taken care of by Ning Shu. AI Yun's mother was frightened and was a little tired. Professor AI didn't want AI Yun's mother to be tired, so Ning Shu took care of the laundry and cooking. However, Ning Shu's cooking didn't taste good. But because of what happened recently, people had no taste at all. Ning Shu's cooking was delicious, but the AI couple couldn't taste it. Professor AI came back with a haggard face. His expression was very ugly. Ning Shu quickly poured a glass of water for Professor AI and asked, "Dad, what happened?" Professor AI gulped down a mouthful of water and sighed. The culprit who instigated Li Chang was found. Found? So fast. Who is it? Ning Shu asked. Looking at Professor AI's expression, it didn't seem to be Cheng Fei. It was a student from my class. His name is Li Qin. He admitted that he stole Tian Hai's account. Ning Shu, are you sure? Ning Shu was dumbfounded. Professor AI nodded. The police said that he couldn't withstand the pressure from the school and the police station and turned himself in. No, what's the IP address of the cafe? Ning Shu really couldn't figure it out. Li Qin admitted that he went to the cafe and checked the cafe's surveillance video. Li Qin did go there. Ning Shu, example. So this matter had nothing to do with Cheng Fei. AI Yun, don't you think Dad is a failure? 1 or 2 students hate me so much. I feel very tired. I want to resign. Ning Shu comforted him. It's hard to say what happened. Besides, you're going to retire soon. If you resign now, you won't even have a pension. Dad, hold on. It's good that we do things with a clear conscience. Ning Shu patted Professor AI's shoulder. This is a stain on your dad's life. The future of 2 students is ruined. Professor AI thought that he was still dedicated and responsible for his students. But such a thing had happened, which made Professor AI suspicious. Let these guys who don't know what's good for them just muddle through. What's the point of being responsible? Instead, they would complain. He didn't know how the school would deal with him this time. Ning Shu looked at the devastated Professor AI and comforted him. Dad, it's okay. Professor AI sighed. Ning Shu couldn't do anything. She couldn't help Professor AI with this kind of thing. Ning Shu took his bag and was ready to go out. Where are you going? Are you going to see Cheng Fei? Professor AI asked. I have something to do. The rice is in the pot. Chapter 1349. Ning Shu rushed to the police station, and the first thing he said was, Cheng Fei really didn't do this? Police, so you hope he did it, or you don't want him to do it? Li Qin has already said that he stole Tian Hai's chat account and instigated Li Chang to do such a thing, the police said. It's completely consistent with the evidence we have so far. It's basically Li Qin, the police said. Acquaintances committed crimes, Professor Xiao AI's class. IP address, Li Qin went to the coffee shop, and it was recorded by the coffee shop's camera. There were also chat records of the two on Li Qin's computer. It was perfect. What about Li Qin's confession? Ning Shu asked. Li Qin confessed that he learned some knowledge about tampering with computers on the internet and stole Tian Hai's account. As for why he stole Tian Hai's account, it was because he had a small conflict with Tian Hai and they didn't like each other. Ning Shu, fuck, I don't want to talk at all. Could it be that she had wronged Cheng Fei? So, this matter is settled? Ning Shu asked, is my husband okay? When the procedures are out, the case will be settled. Cheng Fei will be fine, the police said. Ning Shu almost forced a smile, and his eyes were filled with tears. He said happily, that's good. After leaving the police station, Ning Shu pulled out a handful of her hair. Could it be that he had really wronged Cheng Fei? Did the client really have a persecutory delusion and a mental disorder? So far, Ching Fei had only done one thing wrong, which was to install a camera at home and implant a locator in her body. And the reason for these things was very good. It was because AI Yun had a mental disorder and he was worried that something would happen to AI Yun. He thought that he had to be busy in the clinic during the day, so he could only install a camera so that he could know if AI Yun was in danger at home. The locator was installed because he was worried that AI Yun would get lost. He could know AI Yun's whereabouts at any time. He didn't want AI Yun to work or attend any banquets because he was worried that something would happen to AI Yun. He didn't want AI Yun to face the strange eyes of others. Everything made sense. There were no loopholes in the logic. Apart from this incident, Ching Fei had not done anything out of line. He had not cheated on AI Yun, nor had he abused her. He had not forced AI Yun to do anything she did not like. Instead, he treated AI Yun really well. Ning Shu wiped her tears. She was touched. This was really a good man. Was lying a weakness? Cheng Fei was trying to hide his life story. He had stayed abroad before and insisted that he had grown up in China. His adoptive parents were already dead, but they had come back to life. It popped up during the wedding. Ning Shu returned to school and took the bus to the cafe. Along the way, Ning Shu counted 7 stations, which were not far from each other. If he were to take a taxi, it would cost nearly 100 yuan. Moreover, after getting off the car, they still had to walk for a while to reach the coffee shop. Li Chen actually walked such a long distance to come here. There were many shops around the school, and there were also places that provided free Wi-Fi. Similarly, one could use a virtual IP address. Moreover, there was a library in the school. There was a lot of traffic in the library, so it wouldn't arouse suspicion. Why did he have to run so far? It did not conform to the cost economics of crime. Did he come here to look for someone? Ning Shu looked in the direction of Ching Fei's clinic. Damn, he suspected Ching Fei again. Ning Shu felt the client had a lot of influence on him. She was really trying to prove what Ching Fei wanted to do to her. But why did Li Chen walk so far just to come to this coffee shop? He had suspected Ching Fei, but now, it was proven that Ching Fei was fine. Ning Shu suspected that the IP address was purposely left behind and exposed. Maybe Ching Fei had purposely left it behind to let people find out about him. Then, he could clear his name. Ning Shu. Could it be that she really had persecutory delusions? Damn, there are always unruly people who want to hurt me. Ning Shu stood at the entrance of the coffee shop. It was a quiet and secluded environment. Ning Shu pushed the door open and ordered a cup of coffee before calling the police. Did you ask Li Chen why he wanted to go to the coffee shop? That coffee shop is 7 bus stops away from school. It's quite far. Did he go there just to get some Wi-Fi and have a cup of coffee? Is it possible that Li Chen went to look for someone? Did the cafe's surveillance camera capture Li Chen with someone? There is only Li Chen in the CCTV. We will investigate this thoroughly. Ning Shu immediately said, I will have to trouble you with this. I'm still worried about this. This concerns my parents' safety, so I don't dare to be careless. Ning Shu hung up the phone and looked at the coffee shop. He saw the CCTV. Li Chen was not there to meet anyone. He just traveled so far and came to this coffee shop to get some Wi-Fi. Why did he have to travel so far when he could get the materials here? Anyway, Ning Shu caught on to this point and suspected Ching Fei again. Ning Shu drank his coffee and went home. When he opened the door, he saw Ching Fei sitting on the sofa in the living room. He was smiling and talking to AI Meisha's mother. AI Meisha's mother saw Ning Shu and Ning Shu waved. You're back. Ching Fei turned around. When he saw Ning Shu, his eyes were full of smiles. Ning Shu leaned against the wall and changed his shoes at the entrance. He walked into the house and asked Ching Fei, Are you feeling better? Ning Shu wouldn't yell in front of Ching Fei. It was useless to say anything before there was evidence. Making a scene was useless, and it would only make things worse. That was why Ning Shu was indifferent to Ching Fei. It made people feel that it was because of the CCTV incident. Ching Fei nodded. I'm much better. You have lost weight recently. Ning Shu looked at Ching Fei. You have lost weight too. You two chat. I will go and cut some fruits. Cheng Fei, are you eating here tonight? AI Meixia's mother stood up and asked Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei nodded. Thank you. AI Meixia's mother couldn't stop smiling and went to cut some fruits. Ning Shu sat opposite Cheng Fei and said, the case of Mum's kidnapping is about to be closed. It was done by a student of the same grade. He is also Dad's student. Cheng Fei was stunned for a moment and said, then Dad will be sad. Ning Shu had been observing Cheng Fei's expression. It didn't look like he was faking it. Cheng Fei was so elegant and refined. Ning Shu wanted to punch the ground. There were two people in his mind. One said that Cheng Fei was innocent and that the person who hired him had wronged him. The other said fiercely that it was Cheng Fei. Don't ask why. It was intuition. It was a scary intuition. These two people gave Ning Shu a headache. He really wanted to grab Cheng Fei's collar and throw him to the ground. You can use QQ readers to read this. Please support the original version. Even if it's for free, please vote for the original version. These words that you are looking at are the result of my hard work. I typed them out one by one. Everything that doesn't cost money is pirated. I hope that the pirated website will be infertile and have many children and grandchildren. Chapter 1350. Ning Shu felt that Cheng Fei was the murderer, whether it was because of her preconceived notions. The client, AI Yun, still felt that her husband killed her. But Ning Shu could not prove it. Cheng Fei was the murderer. The brake line and the handkerchief could not prove it. She thought that this kidnapping case would make the police suspect Cheng Fei and prove Cheng Fei's innocence. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei, who was sitting opposite him. Cheng Fei's face was pale. He looked like a beautiful man who was looking up at the sky. AI Yun, why are you looking at me like this? Are you not going to divorce me because I am handsome? Cheng Fei asked. I don't understand. If I take you out, I can make you proud in front of your best friends and give you a stable life. Why do you have to divorce me? What's wrong with me? Ning Shu spread his hands and said, you are very good. Cheng Fei, let's go on a trip. If we can still be together after the trip, let's not divorce. How about that? Ning Shu said. If two people who loved each other went on a trip and still loved each other after the trip, they would get married. Because there would be all kinds of unexpected events on the trip. It tested one's ability and character. Ning Shu decided to take the initiative. It was not good to be passive all the time. Cheng Fei's eyes lit up and he said immediately, okay. Where are we going? When are we going? I need to arrange the clinic and then I can go on a trip with you. Are we going to drive ourselves or go with a group? Cheng Fei was excited. Ning Shu said, do you think it's better to drive ourselves or go with a group? Drive ourselves. I will arrange it. Don't worry. Cheng Fei said with a smile, where do you want to go? Where do you think is good? Ning Shu asked. Cheng Fei kept smiling and looked very happy. He said, shall we go hiking or diving? AI Yun, which one do you like? What is climbing? It should be normal climbing. Rock climbing. Ning Shu was speechless. Diving? Where are we going to dive? We can go to the beach. Damn, it was really dangerous. Ning Shu had never dared to seek death. Climbing and diving, the degree of danger was too high. Ning Shu cherished his life very much. He could forget about seeking excitement and adrenaline. Peaceful days were precious to Ning Shu. Cheng Fei saw that Ning Shu was silent, so he thought for a while and said, how about we go to the desert? Ning Shu was speechless. Why couldn't they just go on a normal trip and enjoy the scenery? If he went to the desert, he might be buried in the desert. They didn't even have a sip of water to drink. There was also a sandstorm and the surroundings were filled with yellow sand. Just looking at it made one feel despair. How could they talk about relaxing? Cheng Fei's taste was really heavy. Couldn't it be more romantic? Ning Shu shrugged. Which place do you like? How about the desert? Even if something happens, our corpses won't rot. Instead, they'll be dried by the wind and sand and become mummies. Mummies made by nature. Ning Shu was speechless. Anyway, the feeling that Cheng Fei gave Ning Shu now was that he was both cute and cruel. The little white rabbit was so white. After cutting the arteries and veins, he didn't move at all. He was so cute. You don't like it? Then what do you like? Cheng Fei asked. No matter where you go, I'll go with you. Ning Shu leaned back on the sofa and tried to get as far away from Cheng Fei as possible. He said, why don't we go and find your parents? We've been married for so long and haven't gone abroad to look for them. We haven't seen them for a long time. Why don't we take this opportunity to visit them? Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei's expression as he spoke. Cheng Fei's expression was very natural. He asked, do you miss Mom and Dad? Of course. After all, I'm the daughter-in-law. I have to visit them. This time, let's go abroad to visit your parents. What do you think about my in-laws? Ning Shu asked. Cheng Fei nodded. Okay, I'll call them and ask where they are now. Ning Shu smiled and nodded. Was he going to call a ghost? Was he going to get a pair of fake parents again? Why did Cheng Fei hide the fact that his adoptive parents had passed away? Then it's settled, Ning Shu said calmly. When Mrs. AI saw Ning Shu and Cheng Fei talking, she felt that after so many things had happened, something good had finally happened. During dinner, Cheng Fei told Mrs. AI and Mrs. AI about going on a trip. Mrs. AI agreed without thinking. It's good to go out and relax. So many things have happened recently. Professor AI didn't say anything. He just looked at Ning Shu with some confusion. After dinner, they found a chance to be alone. Ning Shu asked, didn't you suspect Cheng Fei? Why did you give him a chance to be alone with you? It's easy to get into trouble on a trip. Have you thought about it? Professor AI was a little worried. Why do you want to go on a trip at this time? Between his daughter and his son-in-law, Professor AI would of course choose his daughter. It was impossible to say that Professor AI didn't have any doubts about Cheng Fei. Even if Li Qin had appeared in the end and closed the case, it would not have mattered. But Cheng Fei had implanted a tracking device in his daughter's body. This was something he couldn't understand. It was said that AI Yun had a mental disorder, but his daughter looked very normal. Therefore, Professor AI didn't approve of Cheng Fei and Ning Shu going on a trip in this troubled period. Ning Shu just said, it's not necessarily a trip. We're just going abroad to visit Cheng Fei's parents. We didn't even speak a few words to each other when we got married last time. It's been almost 2 years and they haven't called me. I just want to see if something happened. How can they not contact each other for so long? Professor AI still didn't agree. This isn't good. Don't go out for a while. Also, the school matter isn't over yet. Ning Su comforted Professor AI. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Dad AI Yun. Cheng Fei came to the balcony and said to the two of them, Mom asked me to call you to eat fruit. Professor AI nodded and went into the house. Ning Shu and Cheng Fei were the only two people on the balcony. Cheng Fei asked, Dad doesn't look good. What happened? Ning Shu leaned on the balcony and looked at the night view of the city. He said, Dad doesn't agree with us going to visit your parents. He said that we have to find a day when things are less busy. Dad said that he wants to visit your parents with us. Cheng Fei laughed. Dad is too polite. We're family. Why are you being so polite? Ning Shu admired such shameless people who could lie without batting an eyelid. And no one could tell that they were lying. Chapter 1351. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei in silence. I'll look at you in silence. He didn't say anything. In the end, Cheng Fei decided to take Ning Shu to see his parents. He didn't know if he was seeing a ghost or not. Before leaving, Ning Shu prepared a lot of things, such as a dagger and medicine powder. This time, he had to make Cheng Fei show his true colors. On the day of departure, Cheng Fei dragged the luggage downstairs and waited for Ning Shu. Ning Shu carried the bags downstairs and walked to Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei took the bags from Ning Shu, one in each hand. Ning Shu walked beside Cheng Fei and asked, Do you want me to buy something for your in-laws? You have to buy something for your in-laws. It's okay. My parents are very easygoing people. If you want to buy a gift, wait until we get off the plane. After all, there's so much luggage. You can wait. You can go shopping with them. You can pay for whatever they like. Cheng Fei tilted his head and smiled at Ning Shu. By the way, do you have money on you? I'll give you my card. Ning Shu was speechless. How could they talk about the dead so normally? It was as if they were still alive. Ning Shu really wanted to kneel down. He had met so many people, but this was the first time he met someone like Cheng Fei. There was nothing unnatural about it. If Ning Shu hadn't found out that Cheng Fei's adoptive parents were dead, he would have believed that there was such a pair of in-laws. Cheng Fei and Ning Shu boarded the plane. The plane flew high in the clouds. Ning Shu looked at the clouds outside the window. "Ai Yun, there's something I need to apologize to you about," Cheng Fei whispered to Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. "Go ahead. About your mental disorder, I found a few experts to look at it. Basically, all of them said that you have some sort of mental disorder and that you have persecutory delusions, so what?" Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei. To be honest, mental disorders were not easy to identify. For example, the person next to her was such a normal person, but was he normal? Ning Shu felt that he was not normal at all. "If this matter has made you unhappy, I can apologize. When the time comes, I hope you won't mention this in front of Mom and Dad." Ning Shu was speechless. Fuck, did Cheng Fei take her to see a ghost? He looked so serious that she almost believed him. Ning Shu nodded. "I won't tell anyone. Don't worry." Ning Shu pulled down his blindfold and covered his eyes. He could smell the faint smell of disinfectant on Cheng Fei's body. There was also a bitter smell of Western medicine. Seeing that Ning Shu didn't want to talk, Cheng Fei could only sigh. He reached out and grabbed Ning Shu's hand. His palm was sweaty. Ning Shu took off the blindfold and saw Cheng Fei's pale face. "Are you afraid of heights?" "Yeah." Cheng Fei forced a smile. Ning Shu only had one word. He didn't believe him. He wanted to take advantage of her. This was only on a plane. He didn't seem to be afraid of heights even though he lived in a high-rise building. Ning Shu comforted Cheng Fei. "Don't be afraid. If the plane is in an accident, it won't crash like a car." Cheng Fei was speechless. This wasn't comforting at all. On the plane, Cheng Fei kept holding on to Ning Shu's hand. His palm was very wet and it made Ning Shu very uncomfortable. When they got off the plane, he quickly wiped his hand with a tissue. Cheng Fei's face was so pale that he looked like he was going to faint. Ning Shu didn't know if it was real or not. Cheng Fei was too charming. He had a handsome face and a strong body. He was very attractive to women. There were always women who felt that they were unique and different from others. They could subdue men. It was all the same. Cheng Fei brought Ning Shu to a place. Cheng Fei told the driver a place. Ning Shu didn't know where it was. The car drove on the streets of a foreign country. The streets were full of foreigners with blonde hair and blue eyes. "Where are we going?" Ning Shu looked out of the window and asked. Was Cheng Fei trying to kidnap her? He was bullying her because she was in a foreign country. "Let's go to my parents' house first," Cheng Fei said. "They are not at home now. They are on their way home and will be back soon. We have to wait for them," Cheng Fei explained. Ning Shu nodded. He might be able to see Cheng Fei's adoptive parents at night. Since they had passed away, why did they have to hide it so painstakingly? What was so shameful about it? The car stopped in front of a house. The house was quite nice. It was European style and had a garden and a yard. From the outside, it looked like a small red brick house. There was a green mailbox in front of the yard. It looked very refreshing. Cheng Fei carried the things and opened the door of the yard. "This house is very beautiful," Ning Shu said. Cheng Fei nodded. "This is where my adoptive parents live. They are always away and rarely come home." Cheng Fei took out the key and opened the door. The interior was very well decorated and looked spotless. "I asked someone to clean it before we came," Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu was speechless. Was Cheng Fei a roundworm in her stomach? How could he know what she was thinking? Cheng Fei packed the luggage. Ning Shu said, "What do you want to eat? I will make it for you." "Just eat whatever you have." Ning Shu looked around the house and asked Cheng Fei, who was making the salad, "Why aren't there any photos of your adoptive parents?" "There should be. You can look around. I rarely live with my adoptive parents. I don't know the details." Ning Shu was speechless. Cheng Fei had told countless lies on the way here. Ning Shu felt that there must be more to Cheng Fei's adoptive parents. Cheng Fei placed 2 plates of salad on the table. Ning Shu sat down, picked up the fork and put the lettuce into her mouth. Ning Shu paused for a moment. Cheng Fei looked up at Ning Shu and swallowed the food in his mouth. He asked, "Why aren't you eating? Does it not taste good?" Ning Shu shook her head and ate it. She knew that there was something in it, but she still had to swallow it. It felt so good. Ning Shu ate 2 mouthfuls and did not want to eat anymore. She did not have much of an appetite. More. You were on the plane for so long. Cheng Fei put the lettuce in front of Ning Shu. Ning Shu rubbed her eyes and looked a little sleepy. She said to Cheng Fei, "I want to take a nap. I am very sleepy now." Cheng Fei had actually drugged her with sleeping pills. Moreover, it was an addictive sleeping pill with a high content of zolpidem. "Okay, go to sleep. I will contact our parents and see where they are now." Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu nodded. She wanted to see what Cheng Fei was up to. Ning Shu went to the bedroom and snuggled into the quilt. There was a smell of sunshine in the quilt. Lying under it felt very comfortable, and he wanted to sleep even more. Ning Shu closed her eyes and mobilized the spiritual energy in her body, slowly digesting the medicinal properties. Chapter 1352. Ning Shu didn't eat much of the salad. Even without spiritual energy, Ning Shu could keep her mind clear. She wanted to know what Cheng Fei was thinking. Why did he drug her? Was he going to do something to her? This was the second time Cheng Fei had done something to her. Ning Shu pricked up her ears to listen to the sounds outside. She could hear Cheng Fei's footsteps outside, one after another. What was he doing? The medicinal effects in Ning Shu's body had already dissipated a lot. She released her spiritual force, wanting to see what Cheng Fei was doing now. Then she saw that Cheng Fei was sharpening a knife. Ning Shu was speechless. He looked like he was going to kill a pig. He wasn't going to kill her, was he? Moreover, Cheng Fei was already wearing a white coat. Ning Shu was speechless. He brought a white coat with him when he was traveling. I gave you a chance to commit murder. You really did it. Gotcha. The sound of the door opening was heard, followed by footsteps. Finally, the footsteps stopped beside the bed. Ning Shu felt that Cheng Fei was staring at her. Ning Shu's body tensed up involuntarily. A hand was placed on her shoulder. Ning Shu almost jumped up, but then she relaxed her body. Cheng Fei was a slippery fish. She couldn't catch him. She had to take a risk. Cheng Fei picked up Ning Shu. Ning Shu cried in her heart. It was supposed to be a romantic Princess Carrie, but now she felt like a pig in a pot of boiling water. Ning Shu closed her eyes as if she was in a deep sleep. Then she released her mental strength to check the surroundings. Cheng Fei carried her to the basement. There was a strong smell of formalin and disinfectant in the basement. It was a little pungent. Ning Shu almost sneezed, but she held it back. Cheng Fei put Ning Shu on a wooden board and turned on the lights in the basement. Ning Shu scanned the basement with her mental strength and found many corpses soaked in formalin. Some specimens are very beautiful when they close their eyes and smile. There was also a pile of amber at the foot of the wall. There were worms and eyes in the amber. Ning Shu even saw a hand. A fair and slender hand, or perhaps a leg. There was also a chemical device not far away. Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu had a bad feeling in his heart. "Ai Yun, I love you." Cheng Fei whispered into Ning Shu's ears. Hearing Cheng Fei's voice, Ning Shu's heart sank. A cold and gloomy aura spread throughout her body, causing her to shiver uncontrollably. If she really believed Cheng Fei, she would be a pig. Getting her to this place was a problem even if she used her toenails to think. Ning Shu only wanted to say, "Love you, my ass." Cheng Fei used the surgical scissors to cut Ning Shu's clothes. Ning Shu opened her eyes and looked at him silently. Cheng Fei saw Ning Shu staring at him and smiled at Ning Shu. "You're awake." Ning Shu sat up and looked at Cheng Fei. "What are you doing?" Cheng Fei smiled gently. "Ai Yun, I found a way to live forever." This lunatic was seriously sick. Ning Shu smiled and asked, "What is it?" "You'll know when the time comes." Cheng Fei pressed Ning Shu's body. Don't worry, it won't hurt. If it hurts, it won't be beautiful. Ning Shu was speechless. Cheng Fei, what do you want? Ning Shu pushed Cheng Fei away. Where is this place? Cheng Fei, you lied to me. Your adoptive parents died a long time ago. Why did you lie to me? Cheng Fei sighed. So you've known about it? Sorry, I lied to you about it. Ning Shu was speechless. He didn't know why, but he felt so helpless. Even if Cheng Fei showed a ferocious expression, Ning Shu wouldn't find it strange. Even now, Cheng Fei's face was still gentle and courteous even though he had already shown his true colors. It made people feel helpless. Ning Shu looked at him. Why did you lie to me? Because they're all dead. How did he die? If he died, then he died. Why didn't you tell me? Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu with a gentle and loving gaze. There was a fire at home. My adoptive parents were burned to death. There was also a 5-year-old sister. When I came home from school, the firemen carried them out of the house. They were beyond recognition. Their bodies were convulsing. My 5-year-old sister was also dead. Ning Shu was speechless. There was a fire? A family of 3 was burned to death. And it happened when Cheng Fei was in school. Cheng Fei had a perfect alibi. I didn't want to tell you such a horrible thing, so I found someone to pretend to be my parents. Ai Yun, can you forgive me? Cheng Fei asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu scratched his head. My bad temper, you didn't have to hide it. Why did you hide it? Ning Shu looked at him expressionlessly. I didn't want you to know that I was an orphan again. Ning Shu thought, so pitiful to him, he really wanted to slap this guy. His words were watertight. Then why did you bring me here? Ning Shu asked coldly. Cheng Fei looked innocent. Aren't you here for a vacation? Ning Shu really wanted to give him a tight slap and talk nicely to him. You came to the basement for a vacation? Do corpses soaked in formalin look good? Ning Shu shrugged. Cheng Fei sighed helplessly. I didn't want to show you the corpses. Ning Shu was speechless. Even now, he was still acting cute. Cheng Fei took out the amber hidden at the foot of the wall and showed it to Ning Shu. There was a woman's hand in the lake. The hand was slender and beautiful. The skin was fair and the fingernails were pink and delicate. There were no barbs. The amber color was dark yellow, which made the hand even more beautiful. Why are you showing me this? Ning Shu asked expressionlessly. This is the way to immortality that I was talking about. It can be preserved in the most beautiful state forever. Peace and tranquility lead to eternity. Ning Shu was speechless. Damn it. You want to kill me? Ning Shu was in disbelief. Cheng Fei shook his head. I love you so much. How can I kill you? I want you to be preserved in the most beautiful state. I want you to stay by my side forever, Cheng Fei said affectionately. So, you want to turn me into amber? Ning Shu's face trembled as he said incredulously. This idea was so novel and perverted. He felt that Cheng Fei was not a doctor, but a crazy artist. A crazy artist who had no scruples. Cheng Fei was the one who was fucking paranoid and beyond cure. He could kill you so affectionately and then turn you into a specimen. So good. So affectionate. Ning Shu slapped Cheng Fei's face hard. Cheng Fei's face was slanted to the side. Cheng Fei slowly turned his face. There was blood at the corner of his mouth. He still looked at Ning Shu kindly. Be good. Don't make a fuss. Be good. Chapter 1353. Even though Ning Shu was the one who attacked Cheng Fei still doted on him as if he was looking at his ignorant wife. Cheng Fei licked the blood at the corner of his mouth. Ning Shu smiled. I know you can't accept it right now. I can wait. Ning Shu, that he was asking him to die, not borrowing money. How could he say it so easily? Then how are you going to turn me into a specimen? Ning Shu asked. Will it hurt? Cheng Fei smiled gently. It won't hurt. You won't feel any pain at all. I'll use the plasticization technique first, then I'll wrap you in amber. You'll always be so young and beautiful. You'll always be my favorite. Ning Shu, love your ass. How could this be called love? Why don't you turn me into amber? What does my life have to do with you? Why do you have to kill me? Even if I'm going to die, you should at least let me know the reason before I die. Dad, did you do this? Ningshu asked. Are you trying to kill my mother? Cheng Fei shook his head. No. I never wanted to kill your parents. Why would I kill them? They're your parents. I love them as much as you do. Thank you so much. Ningshu's mouth twitched. She didn't feel too good. Cheng Fei and Ningshu smiled. You're welcome. Ningshu looked at the piles of amber on the ground and the bodies soaked in formalin. Did you kill all these girls? Ningshu asked. Cheng Fei shook his head. I got them from the funeral parlor. I was practicing making amber. My amber skills are getting better and better. The impurities are getting lesser and lesser. I'll definitely make you into the most perfect amber, Cheng Fei said. It seemed that AI Yun was still alive because Cheng Fei wasn't good at making amber. Ningshu couldn't help but scratch her head. Cheng Fei was very vigilant. Other than wanting to turn her into amber, he denied everything else. Ningshu not only suspected that Cheng Fei was behind this, but also suspected that he had killed his adoptive parents and his 5-year-old sister. At that time, Cheng Fei was only in his teens. If Cheng Fei really killed his adoptive parents, Cheng Fei would be too scary. He felt that Cheng Fei was not only paranoid, but also had a high IQ and antisocial personality. Personality, charisma on the surface, highly educated, and everyone seemed to like him. He looked friendly, but he used his charisma to manipulate others. He was very heartless. He didn't feel guilty at all when he did something wrong. People with antisocial personalities were professional manipulators. They achieved their goals by controlling others. Don't expect such a person to be sympathetic. No amount of persuasion would be of any use. Instead, you would be controlled. Control your emotions. For example, if you were happy today, someone with a sociopath would come to you and tell you that the boss was very dissatisfied with your work recently. How can you be happy at a time like this? His mood instantly sank to the bottom of the valley. Cheng Fei showed the amber to Ningshu one by one. He smiled and said to Ningshu, Look, aren't there fewer impurities? I practiced for a long time. Ningshu, is it really okay to discuss with me like this? This is turning me into amber. It feels exactly the same as letting me choose my own coffin. Ningshu looked at Cheng Fei. He was wearing a white coat. He had sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. He was a handsome young man. One's appearance was too deceptive and pretentious. Who would think that Cheng Fei was a bad person when walking on the street? No one. Ningshu felt that she was unlucky. The men she met were either brain-damaged, handsome but brain-damaged, or gay. Or they were so affectionate that they wanted to kill him. So when he met these men, he should destroy them. Out of sight, out of mind, and be happy. AI Yun, which one do you think looks better? Cheng Fei asked Ningshu. Ningshu held his chin and looked at the amber. He pointed at the amber in one hand and said, This one looks good. I think so too. AI Yun, don't worry. I will make you look better than this, Cheng Fei said. Ningshu said indifferently, Thank you so much. Cheng Fei, did someone bully you in the past? That's why you became like this? Ningshu asked. He grew up in an orphanage, was adopted, and became an orphan. Cheng Fei looked at the amber and said without looking up, No. I had a conflict with my classmates. My teacher always believed me. Ningshu shrugged. Was it because he was handsome or because he pretended to be a good boy? That's why the teacher always sided with him. Cheng Fei had been wearing a mask since he was young. He was always liked in front of others. Cheng Fei put down the amber. Ningshu said gently, Lie down. Don't worry, it won't hurt. It will be a success. Damn, people who didn't know better would think that it was an operation. Ningshu waved his hand. Cheng Fei sat beside Ningshu and asked, Is there anything else? Cheng Fei made people feel helpless. Looking at his smug face, people would think that he was going to make a great contribution. Ningshu said, I have something to say. Go ahead. Cheng Fei kissed Ningshu's forehead gently. Ningshu said, Get lost. Tell me about your past. For example, the orphanage and your adoptive parents' home. Ning Shu felt that he was crazy to be able to talk to Cheng Fei so calmly. The orphanages in China are all like that. Every time someone adopts a child, the director will dress the child up cute and make us smile sweetly. I was chosen by my adoptive parents because I am healthy. I don't have any diseases. Cheng Fei's tone was perfunctory when he talked about his adoptive parents. Did your adoptive parents treat you well? Ning Shu asked. They treated me very well. Ning Shu said, he didn't think so. Hey, can we start now? Cheng Fei said. Wait a little longer. Ning Shu waved his hand. Cheng Fei looked straight at Ning Shu and said calmly, Yun, are you not willing? Ning Shu said, I have one last question. I won't ask this question anymore. Why me? Ning Shu asked. Yun was not a great beauty. Her facial features were not very delicate. Cheng Fei reached out to touch Ning Shu's lips. Ning Shu moved back and avoided Cheng Fei's hand. Cheng Fei lowered his eyelashes and said, because you have a beautiful set of teeth as white as a shell. And you are pure. Maybe it's because you were born in a happy and intellectual family. So when you stand there and smile, you look like an ink painting. At that time I thought that I must keep your beauty, Cheng Fei said. Chapter 1354. Keep my beauty? Ning Shu admired such shameless people. My beauty has nothing to do with you. Just because I'm your wife? How shameless. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei. Do you think I'm beautiful? Cheng Fei nodded. Beauty is in the bones, not the skin. I don't think I'll be able to find another girl like you. Should I thank you for your compliment? Ning Shu shrugged. You've been planning this ever since you married me? Cheng Fei nodded. He didn't say anything and continued working. He took out a syringe and injected some medicine into the bottle. As he checked the dosage, he comforted Ning Shu. Don't worry, it won't hurt at all. Ning Shu tilted his head and looked at Cheng Fei. Are you sure it won't hurt? I promise, Cheng Fei said with a smile. It was as if they were discussing what tasted good and what to eat today. Ning Shu waved his hand. I refuse. Why? Cheng Fei looked disappointed and confused. Why not? I'm going to die now. You're going to kill me, Ning Shu said. I'll disappear from this world. No, amber can preserve you well. Even if it's thousands of years, you won't disappear. This is immortality. Immortality, my ass. A well-preserved corpse is immortality. Immortality means that you have your own consciousness. You can jump, eat, and sleep. That's what it means to be alive. Things preserved in amber are like the insects in amber fossils. They have no meaning at all. Don't worry, I'll always be by your side, Cheng Fei said. Stay by my side in the most beautiful way. Fuck you. People like Cheng Fei don't make sense. He's stubborn and never thinks that he's wrong. There's no good or evil. There's no right or wrong. Even if you're handsome, I'll call the police. Cheng Fei, were you abused when you were young? That's why you're so perverted. Cheng Fei blinked. His long eyelashes fluttered. He looked a little cute. No, I won't let anyone bully me, Cheng Fei said. Are you feeling sorry for me? Ning Shu was speechless. You killed your foster parents, and now you want to kill me. Yun, I don't want to kill you. I want you to live forever by my side. Moreover, I didn't kill my foster parents. Why would I kill them? Cheng Fei's expression was very helpless, as if he was looking at a child who was pestering him endlessly. She took the needle and walked towards Ning Shu. Don't move. I'll inject you with some sleeping pills. I promise you won't feel any pain. The syringe was dripping with water, and Ning Shu had goosebumps all over his body. Especially when he saw Cheng Fei's gentle and loving face, Ning Shu gave him a big slap. What are you doing? Didn't I say that I'll stay by your side? I've never thought about dying. Who would want to be with a pervert like you? Since you're going to die at the most beautiful moment, why don't you die with me? Then you can turn into a butterfly and fly away. Isn't that great? Ning Shu shrugged. Why am I the only one who's going to die and you're still alive? Cheng Fei pursed his lips, and some blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth. He stuck out his tongue and licked his lips. Cheng Fei frowned. You shouldn't have hit me like this. It will ruin your beauty. Ning Shu was speechless. What I look like is my own business. It's none of your business. Ning Shu felt that Cheng Fei's self-restraint was too good. He wasn't angry even after being slapped twice. Was he not angry, or was he holding it in? Cheng Fei, I think you should go see a doctor. You're seriously ill. Cheng Fei lowered his head and looked at the syringe in his hand. I'm a doctor myself. I know you can't understand my thoughts, but I'll let your beauty shock the whole world. Thank you so much. Ning Shu felt helpless. After talking to Cheng Fei for a long time, he didn't get any useful information. So far, the only thing he knew was that Cheng Fei wanted to make her into amber, even if she didn't die. Cheng Fei could only be considered as an attempted murder, and the crime of destroying a corpse was not Ning Shu's goal at all. Ai Yun. Cheng Fei reached out his hand to touch Ning Shu's head. If I die, how can I make you into amber? I don't feel at ease leaving you to others. They won't know your beauty at all. I have to make you into amber myself, Cheng Fei said gently. Ning Shu felt that he would never love again. This person was he really wanted to slap Cheng Fei again. Ning Shu really couldn't control the violent primitive force in his heart. Cheng Fei was so soft and gentle. He really made people feel helpless. And he was very tight-lipped. No matter how Ning Shu provoked him, he didn't react. Even if she said that Cheng Fei killed his adoptive parents. Cheng Fei just calmly denied that he wanted to kill the AI family's parents. Cheng Fei also denied it. He was really innocent. She almost believed him. Li Chen and Li Chang's matter has nothing to do with you. I just want to know the truth before I die. Li Chen, you're talking about the person who instigated Li Chang to do the kidnapping, right? I don't know him. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu. Why do you always want to pin these things on me? The only person I care about is you. How slippery. Ning Shu spread out his hands. So, I've decided not to die. If I don't die, I don't want to be made into amber. I'll anger you to death. Cheng Fei's expression did not change. He looked at Ning Shu with a wide and doting gaze. Stop messing around. I'm going to be killed. Can't I resist? Don't resist. It's not good to hurt your body. If your skin turns black, it won't look good. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu's arm that was injured before. It was now scabbing. How did you get injured? Later, I'll tattoo a shallow tattoo on your wound. This way it can cover the scar. Please don't talk to yourself, okay? Cheng Fei really couldn't hear what he was saying at all. Ning Shu saw a stainless steel surgical plate next to the operating table. There were scissors and a knife on the plate. Ning Shu grabbed the scalpel and placed it on his arm. I'm going to cut my skin now. I won't let you make a perfect amber. Ning Shu wanted to anger Cheng Fei now. Such a soft Cheng Fei made Ning Shu unable to take the initiative. Ai Yun, put the scalpel down first. Are you sick again? Cheng Fei's expression changed and his tone became gentler, as if he was coaxing Ning Shu. Put the scalpel down first. We can talk about anything. Ning Shu. Damn, why did she look like an abnormal person now? Ning Shu did not want to stab himself, he only wanted to stab Cheng Fei. Damn it. Ning Shu said, I don't want to be made into amber. Okay, we won't be amber. Don't hurt yourself. I'll listen to whatever you say. Cheng Fei immediately agreed. Chapter 1355. Ning Shu cursed in his heart. Who the hell needs your coaxing? I want you to be angry. Angry, you know? This kind of Cheng Fei really made people tremble. He hid his emotions and lived as if he was another person, a perfect and likable person. He maintained absolute rationality at all times. He pretended to be in a way that others liked. He really got nothing. Ning Shu hardened her heart and cut a wound on her arm. Blood immediately gushed out. Cheng Fei quickly used a cotton pad to block the wound on Ning Shu's arm to prevent more blood from flowing out. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Cheng Fei frowned impatiently. Why are you hurting yourself? Ning Shu smiled and said, because I don't want to be turned into amber by a monster like you. I want to live. Cheng Fei frowned. Why can't you figure it out? Preserve the most beautiful moments of your life and don't rot away bit by bit. You want me to die and then blame me for not figuring it out. Even ants have to live. Why must I die? The most beautiful moments of my life. I'm willing to rot away slowly and finally rot away. You illegally took someone else's life and still act like I'm good to you. Thank you so much. You said I'm a monster? Cheng Fei looked wronged. How can you think of me like that? You are a monster. I just don't want to die. Cheng Fei paused and sighed. I won't blame you because you can't understand and appreciate beauty. Fuck your second uncle. Ning Shu really couldn't control the primitive power in her body. Ning Shu grabbed Cheng Fei's collar and looked at him. Cheng Fei, when are you going to stop pretending? What's wrong? Cheng Fei sighed and started to treat the wound on Ning Shu's arm. No matter how angry you are next time, you can't joke about your body. Do you understand? We'll talk about this again after you recover. Cheng Fei said. When did I agree? I said I don't want to be a specimen. Can't you understand? Ning Shu wanted to slap Cheng Fei again. After being slapped twice in a row, Cheng Fei didn't get angry. Instead, he had a doting look on his face. It was really creepy. He didn't have the slightest bit of manliness, or perhaps he wanted to take revenge in other places. Have a good rest. We'll go back tomorrow. Cheng Fei rubbed some ointment on Ning Shu's wound. I'll wait until you're willing. Ning Shu tilted his head and asked, Do I really have a mental disorder and paranoia? Of course, this was diagnosed by several experts. See, you always think that I'm harming you and hurting myself. Cheng Fei was helpless. Ning Shu was speechless. Who was the crazy one? Cheng Fei wrapped Ning Shu's arm with gauze. It was wrapped well and he even tied a beautiful bow at the end. Ning Shu looked at the bow and praised, Actually, it's not bad for you to be an artist. After all, some artists are crazy. Cheng Fei looked even more helpless. You always say that I'm crazy. The one who's crazy is you. You're the one who's crazy. Your whole family is crazy. You say I'm crazy, I say you're crazy. Ning Shu didn't feel so good. Who was the crazy one? Ning Shu and Cheng Fei were speechless. Suddenly, the basement door opened with a bang. Then there were many hurried footsteps. Soon, a group of foreign policemen appeared in the basement. Professor AI was among them. AI Yun. Professor AI shouted to Ning Shu. Ning Shu wiped his face. Professor AI came so quickly. Put your hands up and squat down. Cheng Fei was pointed at by many guns. He couldn't help but frown and look at Ning Shu. You called the police. Why did you call the police? Cheng Fei, don't hurt AI Yun. Professor AI's face was trembling as he shouted at Cheng Fei. Ning Shu shrugged. Because I don't want to die. Cheng Fei was heartbroken. You betrayed me. No, I'm just taking responsibility for my life. My life belongs to me. You have no right to take it away from me. Cheng Fei was restrained by the policeman. He looked at Ning Shu with a calm expression. I hope that we can be together forever. You want to kill me and live with Hoopa. You call that being together? I told you, that's the most beautiful you. Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu waved his hand. He didn't want to talk to Cheng Fei. If he continued, Ning Shu felt that his outlook on life would be shattered. The policeman took Cheng Fei away. Cheng Fei didn't resist and looked very calm. Ning Shu asked Professor AI, AI Yun, are you okay? Ning Shu shook his head. I'm fine. He didn't gain anything this time. Cheng Fei was trying to kill someone on purpose. It didn't affect him at all. A person like Cheng Fei could live like a fish in water no matter where he was. Even in prison, Ning Shu felt that Cheng Fei could live very well. Ning Shu took out the mini recorder attached to his back. It was broadcasted simultaneously. Professor AI knew that Cheng Fei wanted to turn his daughter into Hoopa and immediately called the police. The domestic police contacted the local police to help arrest Cheng Fei. When we go back this time, divorce Cheng Fei. Your mother heard the recording and cried until she fainted. Professor AI sighed. Dad, I think Cheng Fei has something to do with Mom's kidnapping. Also, he might have killed Cheng Fei's adoptive parents. But this case happened more than 10 years ago. It's not easy to investigate. Ning Shu looked at Professor AI. I'm just afraid that Ching Fei won't let us off. It looks like Ching Fei won't let it go. I'll think of a way, Professor AI said with a sullen face. He had been with Ching Fei for 2 to 3 years, but he never knew that Ching Fei was such a person. He wanted to turn his daughter into Hu Pe from the beginning. What a frightening thing this was. And during the process of getting along, he didn't show any signs of it. His impression of Ching Fei was that he was gentle and polite, a young talent and an elite of society. But now, it had been turned upside down. Professor AI and Ning Shu returned to China. Cheng Fei was also transferred back to China. After all, this was a domestic case. As soon as they entered the house, Mrs. AI hugged Ning Shu and cried loudly. She was out of breath. Ning Shu patted Mrs. AI's back. "Mom, fine. You don't have to worry." Mrs. AI wiped her tears. Ning Shu sobbed and said, "Divorce. Hurry up and divorce Cheng Fei." Who knew that Cheng Fei was such a person? Mom is old and blind. I wanted to entrust you to Cheng Fei, but I didn't expect Cheng Fei to be such a person. Mrs. AI gritted her teeth. Cheng Fei was a complete pervert. Chapter 1356. Mrs. AI really couldn't imagine how her daughter had lived with Cheng Fei for the past 2 years. Cheng Fei monitored her and implanted a tracking device in her wound. Ning Shu comforted her. If Cheng Fei didn't have a mental illness, he would be a good son-in-law. But it might not be as perfect as it was now. Hurry up and get a divorce. We can't delay any longer. What if Cheng Fei comes out of the police station? Mrs. AI was worried. Professor AI frowned. Ning Shu said, "If Cheng Fei can stay in prison, we will be safe." Dad, if there is evidence that Cheng Fei killed his adoptive parents and 5-year-old sister, then it won't be a simple charge of attempted murder. It will be an international crime. Ning Shu couldn't help but sigh. I tried both soft and hard methods, but I couldn't get anything out of Cheng Fei's mouth. If he's guilty of instigating someone to kidnap, he'll definitely be sentenced to a heavy sentence. The problem is that Li Chun has already confessed to the kidnapping, and the evidence matches. Professor AI's face was wrinkled. How did our family meet someone like Cheng Fei? Let me think, who introduced Cheng Fei to you? I'm going to dig up her ancestral grave. Mrs. AI was furious. Ning Shu suddenly realized that she was quite dangerous even though she was pretty. It was easy to attract wild bees and butterflies. Being inconspicuous was the safest. Beautiful women had short lives. AI Yun was not very beautiful, but her temperament was outstanding. She was unforgettable in a crowd. Beauty was not enough. She had to have the ability to protect her beauty. Otherwise, it would be a tragedy. Beauty was a double-edged sword. It could be beneficial, but it could also lead to a tragedy. Sigh, it's my fault for being too beautiful. Ning Shu touched his face and sighed. AI Yun, I'm talking to you. What do you think? Mrs. AI pushed Ning Shu. Oh, then let's get a divorce. I've wanted a divorce for a long time. Ning Shu went back to his room to rest and fell asleep on the bed. He had been tense all the time. When he relaxed, he felt tired. In addition, he had used his spiritual power before. He felt very uncomfortable. By the time he woke up, it was already dark. Mrs. AI boiled some soup and brought it to Ning Shu. Drink it. Ning Shu drank the chicken soup and looked at Mrs. AI's guilty expression. He said, "Ma, I'm fine. Don't worry. You know what kind of person Cheng Fei is. Why did you go on a trip with him?" Mother AI wanted to hit Ning Shu, but she recalled the wounds on Ning Shu's body and retracted her hand. "You even scratched yourself. What were you thinking?" Mother AI began to nag. "What should I do if I don't lead the wolf into the house? I can't catch Cheng Fei at all. At least now, Cheng Fei is guilty of attempted murder." Ning Shu said helplessly. Moreover, Mother AI kept telling her to reconcile with Cheng Fei every day. What could she do? She was also in despair. Ning Shu could feel that Cheng Fei was suspecting her. Maybe Cheng Fei would make a move on this trip. He took the initiative to give Cheng Fei a chance, but Cheng Fei was used to hiding. Even under such circumstances, he didn't say a word. He denied it from the beginning to the end. It was really frustrating. Ning Shu went to the police station and asked the policeman who was investigating the kidnapping case, "Did you ask Li Chen why he went to the cafe?" The policeman said, "He said that he suddenly had a whim and wanted to go to the cafe." Ning Shu chuckled. "Do you believe that? Li Chen is obviously lying about this matter. He can't explain why he went to the cafe. There should be something else. We will continue to investigate." Ning Shu nodded and thanked the policeman. This kind of thing should be left to the professionals. Ning Shu then looked at Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei was wearing a prison uniform, but he was still handsome. Ning Shu shouted through the window, "AI Yun." Ning Shu nodded. "Wait for me. I will definitely go out." Cheng Fei smiled at Ning Shu. Ning Shu, even at this time, she was still like this. "You still want to make me into amber?" She was so stubborn that she thought she was right. Cheng Fei nodded. "What made you so crazy? I will change, okay?" This person was purely crazy. It was not love, but possessiveness. "No matter what you become, I will still like you," Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu rolled her eyes. "No, you are afraid that I will be old, afraid that I will rot. So you want to make me into amber, so that I will always look young. You are afraid that my face will be full of wrinkles. Didn't they say that they would grow old together? Was this love from Cheng Fei?" Ning Shu could even imagine a disgusting scene. Maybe Cheng Fei would touch amber, kiss amber, or rub amber. Oh my God. Ning Shu did not dare to let herself think about it. Just thinking about it made her feel disgusted. Ning Shu said, "I hope you will be happy in here." Ning Shu carried her bag and turned to leave. She did not want to talk nonsense with Cheng Fei. She might as well go back and find evidence so that Cheng Fei would never be able to come out. Cheng Fei stood up, put his hand on the glass, and looked at Ning Shu. "AI Yun, can I ask you a question? Love, no date, Lan Xiang, save my mother, no regrets. I don't know how to answer this question. I have something to do tomorrow, I lost weight, I don't have much money, I don't know how to make money. Cheng Fei, I want to ask you how your wound is. Remember to take anti-inflammatory medicine and change the bandage often. The wound is a little deep and may be infected. Go get a tetanus shot when you get out of the police station." Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu nodded. "You have to work hard. You have to be worthy of the country and the party, okay?" Ning Shu turned and left. She decided to go home and find evidence. When she reached the door, Ning Shu took out the key and opened the door. Ning Shu walked into the room and released her mental strength to see what was in the room. Mental strength was really a good thing. She did not have to look for things everywhere. Ning Shu stood in front of the safe. All of Cheng Fei's valuable things should be inside. The safe was a little thick and it was a little difficult for her mental strength to penetrate it. She felt that something was blocking her mental strength. It was not easy for her mental strength to penetrate the safe. Ning Shu was already sweating. Ning Shu retracted her mental strength and rubbed her temples. She already knew what was in the safe after a quick scan just now. A passbook. The passbook was in a foreign language. It was obviously not a domestic bank. There was also a diagnosis from the hospital. It seemed to be a match for the heart. The name was Cheng Fei. The other was the name of his 5-year-old sister. The disease was congenital heart disease with a missing heart valve. Ning Shu raised her eyebrows. Did the Chinese couple adopt Cheng Fei for the heart? To find an organ source for their daughter. Chapter 1357. Ning Shu couldn't open the safe, so he could only carry it to the locksmith to open the lock. But this safe was really heavy. When he went to the locksmith, he told Ning Shu that he didn't have the skills to open the safe. So Ning Shu carried the safe to the police station and asked the professionals to open it. Ning Shu carried the safe to the police station and said that there was probably some evidence inside. He asked the police to open it. "This safe belongs to your family. Don't you know the password?" The police asked the technical department to open the safe. Ning Shu spread his hands. "This is Cheng Fei's safe. I really don't know the password." They were husband and wife. Cheng Fei was involved in all aspects of AI Yun and strictly monitored her. But AI Yun knew very little about Cheng Fei. This wasn't an equal relationship. It felt like Cheng Fei treated AI Yun as his accessory. AI Yun might even be a beautiful accessory to Cheng Fei. A beautiful amber. She was probably thinking, be my slave. Cheng Fei was concerned about AI Yun. Even though he was detained, he still wanted Ning Shu to break the tetanus shot. It was like he was protecting a precious thing. Note that it was a thing, not a person with self-awareness. While the safe was being opened, Ning Shu asked, "How's the investigation of the kidnapping case? Is there any progress?" The police said, "Your school's principal is urging us to close the case." So, when the investigation reached Li Chen, the case was almost closed. What did Li Chen say? Ning Shu asked. Li Chen said that he went to the cafe because he wanted to hide far away to do bad things. He was a little scared because he was surrounded by acquaintances. So, he went to the cafe. Ning Shu was speechless. This was a reason. Since Li Chen doesn't care about his own future, why should we investigate? If he is willing to bear the responsibility alone, then it doesn't matter, the police said impatiently. This case has dragged on for a long time. It has seriously slowed down our rate of solving cases. Ning Shu saw the police's attitude and knew that they didn't want to investigate further. Li Chen was the mastermind. If he didn't investigate, then so be it. Why couldn't he pin the crime of instigating the kidnapping on Cheng Fei's head? The safe was opened. Ning Shu flipped through the passbook. There was a lot of money in the passbook. Cheng Fei seemed to have been living off this passbook since he was 12 years old. Because every once in a while, he would withdraw money. Could this be the inheritance of Cheng Fei's adoptive parents? Ning Shu opened another craft paper document. Inside were 2 sets of physical examinations, blood type matching, and body rejection prediction. In short, these 2 people had undergone heart transplant surgery. From these 2 documents, it could be seen that the Chinese couple adopted Cheng Fei for his heart. However, a fire suddenly broke out and the family of 3 was killed. Even the 5-year-old girl who needed a new heart died. As the chosen heart, Cheng Fei naturally didn't have to die. He was originally a healthy person, but he was forced to replace his heart with an unhealthy one. Not to mention the rejection reaction, the broken heart alone made Cheng Fei's future uncertain. He might die at any moment. He didn't know how Cheng Fei felt when he left this document behind. If the probability of Cheng Fei killing his adoptive parents was 50%, then the probability was 90% now. Because his adoptive parents were dead, he could get an inheritance and his heart wouldn't be replaced. Having a motive was also beneficial to him. Ning Shu handed the document to the police. Cheng Fei might have killed his adoptive parents. This was a case more than 10 years ago. Moreover, the victims weren't from our country. Since they don't care, we don't have to investigate here. This was a thankless task. Even if the investigation was successful, which country's law would be applied? Cheng Fei was now a Chinese citizen. After his adoptive parents died, he was deported back to China. Moreover, he requested to return to China. He was already a Chinese citizen. Ning Shu spread his hands. He didn't stop cursing in his heart. Cheng Fei was really a scary person. When his adoptive parents died, he had a perfect alibi because he was at school. When he returned home, he found out that his adoptive parents and sister were burned to death. No one would believe that an 11 or 12-year-old child would kill someone. Ning Shu was speechless. Didn't they know how to run when the house was on fire? They were burned to death in the house. Even if they smashed the glass door, they could still escape. Unless the family of 3 had lost their consciousness, they wouldn't be burned to death. Ning Shu really wanted to beat Cheng Fei to death. I want to ask you a question. How long can my husband be sentenced for attempted murder? Ning Shu asked. According to Ning Shu's investigation, attempted murder was sentenced to death, life imprisonment or more than 10 years in prison. If the circumstances were less serious, the sentence would be more than 3 years and less than 10 years in prison. Ning Shu didn't know how the judge would sentence Cheng Fei. Especially since Cheng Fei's mental state was different from a normal person. He was afraid that a lunatic would kill someone that wasn't illegal. If that happened, Ning Shu would really be in trouble. It depends on the situation. Then, if my husband is mentally ill and has a serious antisocial personality, what will happen in the end? Ning Shu asked the policeman tentatively. Well, if he is mentally ill, invite a psychiatrist to check if he is mentally ill. Then, the policeman looked at Ning Shu. If there is a problem, Cheng Fei will be sent to a mental hospital. Ning Shu narrowed his eyes. Sent to a mental hospital. In other words, if Cheng Fei was mentally ill, he would be acquitted. Once he got better, he could be discharged. Ning Shu slammed the table. If Cheng Fei was really acquitted, what was he going to do? And with Cheng Fei's intelligence, he knew how to avoid punishment. If Cheng Fei really avoided punishment in a crazy way, once he was found to be crazy, Cheng Fei might be acquitted. At most, he would be locked up in a mental hospital. Cheng Fei was a doctor himself. Of course, he knew how to diagnose mental illness. It was too easy to admit that he was mentally ill. In fact, the evidence of Cheng Fei's attempted murder was only a recording. The evidence was a little weak. Ning Shu walked out of the police station worriedly. He didn't know how to deal with Cheng Fei. He couldn't imagine what would happen to Cheng Fei, the old couple from the AI family, and her. Ning Shu thought about his skills. Needlework, goo poison, acupuncture, mental strength, and the ability to communicate with intelligent animals. A lawyer was useless here. Cheng Fei was not only a doctor, but also a law student. He knew very well what loopholes there were for him to exploit. Ning Shu felt that he really didn't know how to love. The case from more than 10 years ago was still unsolved. Now, the family of 3 was already dead. They were no threat to Cheng Fei. Chapter 1358. Ning Shu tried to think of a way, but he could not think of a reliable way. Cheng Fei was the most patient and pretentious person Ning Shu had ever met. He was not arrogant when he succeeded, and he was not arrogant when he failed. He was also very tight-lipped. He was sensitive to things that were not good for him. Ning Shu looked at the wound on his arm. He had lost so much blood, but Cheng Fei only put him in custody temporarily. Ning Shu channeled his energy to the wound and slowly healed it. This was Ai Yun's body. She had no choice but to harm herself. With the help of spiritual energy, there should not be any scars left. The wound was a little itchy. It should be healing. Ning Shu sat on a chair in the square and looked at the people coming and going. Beside him was a person using an iPad. Ning Shu suddenly remembered that he had not checked Cheng Fei's computer and communication devices. If Cheng Fei really did something, there should be traces. Ning Shu did not see how Cheng Fei used the computer. Since he was monitoring him, he definitely needed a computer. Ning Shu did not have the key to Cheng Fei's clinic. Before going to the clinic, Ning Shu went to find a locksmith. He had to pry open the door. Cheng Fei's clinic was not small. Because of the recent incident, the clinic was not open. The locksmith opened the door, and Ning Shu walked into the clinic. There was a smell of disinfectant in the clinic. It was clean and tidy. Ning Shu found Cheng Fei's office and saw a computer on the table. Ning Shu walked over and sat on the chair. He turned on the computer, but Cheng Fei had set a password. What was the password? Who knew what the password was? Ning Shu tried to enter a few passwords. There was a birthday. Cheng Fei's birthday, but the password was wrong. Ning Shu entered Ai Yun's birthday, but the password was still wrong. This was strange. What kind of password would Cheng Fei set? Ning Shu entered their wedding date, but the password was still wrong. Ning Shu was too lazy to enter the password. He took out his laptop from his bag and started to connect to the computer. He directly opened Cheng Fei's computer by force. Ning Shu's fingers moved and he finally turned on Cheng Fei's computer. Ning Shu clicked on the files on the computer. Most of them were information about the medicine purchased by the clinic and some patient's information. Cheng Fei had organized everything very well and it was very clear. Cheng Fei's workability was very strong. Ning Shu clicked on the video. These videos were taken at home. Ai Yun was in the video. Cheng Fei was monitoring Ai Yun's eating, drinking, and defecating. Cheng Fei knew what to do. Just imagining himself picking his nose while someone else was watching him. That feeling felt so good. Ning Shu browsed through Cheng Fei's computer and sent all the videos to her computer. Perhaps these videos would be useful. Ning Shu wasn't looking for these videos. He just wanted to know if Cheng Fei had hacked into other people's computers. There were some things about Li Chen that didn't make sense. However, Ning Shu searched for a while and found that Cheng Fei's computer was really clean. Even the cache of browsing web pages was wiped clean. It was obvious that Cheng Fei had cleaned it himself. Cheng Fei was very good at counter-investigating. After searching for a while, he didn't find anything. Ning Shu leaned back and threw the mouse away. What the fuck? What the hell was Cheng Fei doing? But it was weird that he cleaned it so thoroughly. If there wasn't anything, why did he clean it so thoroughly? Li Chen's incident might have something to do with Cheng Fei. He might even have instigated someone to kidnap AI Yun's mother. But there was no evidence at all. Luckily, she reacted quickly. Otherwise, AI Yun's mother might really be in trouble. What was Cheng Fei's motive for doing that? Why did she fall down in the end? She couldn't even dodge that kind of attack, let alone Cheng Fei. Was it a trick? Or was he afraid that she wouldn't be a perfect Amber if she fell down? Ning Shu returned home empty-handed. AI Yun's mother immediately asked Ning Shu, "Are you divorced?" Ning Shu shook his head. "The court will be in session soon. I will apply for a divorce then." Ning Shu was the victim, so she had to appear in court. AI Yun's mother was worried. What if he doesn't agree to the divorce? He definitely will. Ning Shu said. The judge wasn't crazy. He knew that Cheng Fei wanted to turn her into Amber, but he still didn't want a divorce. Divorce was a small matter. The most important thing was how to deal with Cheng Fei. This wasn't something that could be solved by a divorce. Even if they got a divorce, Cheng Fei wouldn't let them off. With Cheng Fei's methods, it was easy for him to deal with them. Ning Shu hugged her head. She couldn't fail this mission. If she failed too many times, she would be killed. Ning Shu was really giving it her all. Ning Shu went back to her room and lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling. She really wanted to stab Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei had committed a crime, but she couldn't. What if she got caught? Damn it. Come on, let's hurt each other. Ning Shu sat up and slammed the bed. She didn't believe that Cheng Fei couldn't defeat her. She wasn't going to beat around the bush with Cheng Fei. She was going to fight him face to face. She just wanted to see what Cheng Fei would do. The school had given Professor AI a punishment. He was suspended with pay. As for when he would be suspended, no one knew. It was very likely that Professor AI would not be reinstated and would have to retire early. Professor AI suddenly became very dispirited. During dinner, he didn't eat more than 2 mouthfuls. AI Yun's mother was anxious, but she didn't know how to comfort her husband. Ning Shu drank the soup, and Professor AI looked at his daughter, who was eating happily. Ning Shu put down the bowl and said to Professor AI, "Dad, don't be too sad. You are on paid leave. It's a good thing. Also, you have enough time to do your research report. You were a student before. Now you can do what you want." Ning Shu felt that it was great to be able to play with money. He could do what he wanted every day. He didn't have to worry about his students. This will be a stain on my life. Professor AI sighed. I don't want to go out for a while. What's the big deal, Dad? When your research report comes out, people will only say that you are a qualified professor. You are serious and rigorous, but not suitable to be a teacher. Ning Shu shrugged. Just do what you have always wanted to do. Isn't it good? Although Professor AI knew what was going on, he felt ashamed. He felt that all the students in the school were talking about him behind his back. Even his colleagues looked at him strangely. Who asked his student to do such a thing? Ning Shu felt that Professor AI was not used to being idle at home. He didn't know what to do for now. After some time, he would get used to retirement. Ning Shu prepared for the court session. Before the court session, Ning Shu received a summons from the court. Chapter 1359. Before the court session, Ning Shu went to the detention center to visit Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei was still as handsome as ever. When he saw Ning Shu, he even smiled at Ning Shu. Ning Shu was speechless. He could really live a good life no matter where he was. It seemed that Cheng Fei's labor camp life didn't affect him much. Was there no one in the detention center who didn't like Cheng Fei? Was there no one who wanted to beat Cheng Fei up? But with Cheng Fei's ability, it was usually others who were at a disadvantage. Ning Shu was a little speechless. Seems like you're living a good life. Cheng Fei nodded. The people here are all very kind. Ning Shu was speechless. They were all criminals, but they were still kind. Ning Shu felt that he was a good person who could become a Buddha. Why did you come to see me? Cheng Fei asked Ning Shu. He looked at Ning Shu's arm. How's the wound? Ning Shu nodded. It's fine. Be careful not to touch the wound. Eat less seafood so it won't leave a scar. Cheng Fei reminded him. Ning Shu said indifferently, if the skin tissue is damaged, it's impossible to recover to its original state. Although it can't be restored to its original state, it can be restored to its original state. Cheng Fei said gently to Ning Shu, be good, don't eat anything that irritates the wound. Ning Shu's face was blank. Why was there no end to this topic? Fuck, she would drink chilly water when she got back. The court session is about to start. What are you prepared for? Ning Shu asked Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei shook his head. We'll talk about it later. AI Yun, I don't think I'm wrong. They don't understand my thoughts. Ning Shu was here to find out more information, not to listen to Cheng Fei talk about immortality or whether it was beautiful or not. Attempted murder. You may be sentenced to the death penalty. Ning Shu threatened Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei shook his head. AI Yun, I don't deserve the death penalty. Ning Shu's expression didn't look good. It's an attempt to commit a crime. I haven't turned you into amber yet. I can only say that it's an attempt to commit a crime. Compared to the sentence of intentional homicide, your punishment can be reduced. Cheng Fei said gently. Ning Shu, attempted murder and intentional murder were two completely different concepts. If Cheng Fei admitted his mistake with a good attitude, and it was an attempted crime. Moreover, if Cheng Fei managed to escape using his mental disorder, Ning Shu's efforts would be in vain. Ning Shu really wanted to punch Cheng Fei in the face on the other side of the glass. The human mind is a terrible thing. Ning Shu carried his bag and left. Talking to Cheng Fei was really infuriating. What should he do when he met a pervert? He had to be even more perverted than a pervert. Since conventional means couldn't deal with Cheng Fei, they could only find another way. Cheng Fei called out to Ning Shu. Ning Shu turned around and said, Love, no date, don't know what's good for you. Cheng Fei had a faint smile in his eyes. He looked at Ning Shu through the broken glass. What do you mean by that? You always say that. What do you want? Ning Shu felt a little impatient. He chanted the mind-cleansing mantra in his heart. He felt a cool breeze extinguish the fire in his heart. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei with a very gentle gaze. What do you want? Cheng Fei raised his eyebrows and said, I'll be out soon. Ning Shu shook his head and said even more gently, You'll be in jail for a long time. Trust me. How can that be? I want to appear when you're the most beautiful. I can't miss your beautiful moment. Ning Shu touched his face. My beauty is my business. What does it have to do with you? My face is on my body, not yours. You don't have the right to say that. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu with a doting gaze. It was as if he was looking at an immature child. You can do whatever you want. I won't care. Ning Shu turned around and left. What's the point of talking nonsense with you? The court session was in 5 days. Before that, Ning Shu made some preparations. Damn it. No matter what, he had to get rid of Cheng Fei. Being targeted by such a person would be a nightmare for the rest of his life. 5 days later, Professor AI, Mrs. AI and Ning Shu arrived at the entrance of the court. Today was the day of Cheng Fei's trial. To become a person like Cheng Fei, one must not only have a smart brain, but also have to learn all kinds of knowledge. If one couldn't even learn the knowledge well, how could he use it? Ning Shu suspected that everything was done by Cheng Fei, but she didn't have any evidence. So what if he suspected him? He had no evidence. The court session started. Ning Shu's family of 3 sat in the public gallery. But soon, they were called by the court staff. She was going to be the witness later. Cheng Fei came out in his prison uniform. She fought valiantly and valiantly, causing the courtroom to be filled with sighs. Cheng Fei's expression was calm. He quietly listened to the prosecutor reading out his crimes. Ning Shu stayed in a room, watching the live broadcast on the television on the wall. He looked at Cheng Fei, who could remain calm even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of him. He didn't know what could make Cheng Fei lose control. Cheng Fei's control of his emotions was almost perverted. If a person could control his anger, there was nothing he couldn't do. Ning Shu felt that he was a very calm person. A very calm person with a lot of self-control. But in front of Cheng Fei, Ning Shu admitted defeat. Did Cheng Fei become perverted after holding it in for too long? Ning Shu was called out to testify. The judge asked Ning Shu some questions. Ning Shu answered honestly. He took out the handkerchief from before. This was Cheng Fei's handkerchief. Ning Shu had been keeping it with a vacuum. He sucked the air out of the bag. The handkerchief was covered in semen. Semen was easily volatile in the air. If he didn't do that, the smell on the handkerchief would have disappeared. Judge, my husband, Cheng Fei, has been trying to turn me into amber since we got married, Ning Shu said. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu. His gaze was still calm. He looked at Ning Shu quietly. Ning Shu took out the brake wire again. And Cheng Fei has been trying to kill my family. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu and said, this evidence can be fabricated. Ai Yun and I are husband and wife. It's easy for her to have one of my handkerchiefs. As for semen, you can get it from my clinic. Brake wire. I don't even know where this brake wire came from. Ning Shu wasn't angry. This brake wire was taken from my father's car in the garage after I got into the car accident. The mechanic can testify to this, Ning Shu said calmly. Professor Ai's expression didn't look good. Usually, they were the ones who used this car. It was obvious that Cheng Fei was targeting them. The couple lived in the newlywed house. He was the only one who used the car occasionally. Cheng Fei wanted to kill him. Professor Ai's face darkened. Chapter 1360. Cheng Fei's expression was calm. He denied Ning Shu's words and looked at Ning Shu calmly. Ning Shu wanted to convict him, but he was neither arrogant nor rash. The way he looked at Ning Shu was filled with deep affection. Sometimes it was very deep. Ning Shu felt that she was like a ferocious pet in front of Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei didn't care. He didn't think that a pet could hurt him. Ning Shu lowered his head and didn't say anything. His evidence was really thin and couldn't support a sentence. Everything was related to Cheng Fei, but he couldn't do anything to him. The case was still going on. Ning Shu even thought that Cheng Fei might be acquitted. In the end, with the efforts of the procuratorate, Cheng Fei faced 5 years in prison. 5 years. It was too easy for Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei was really cunning. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu. His eyes were shining. Ning Shu was speechless. What did he mean? Was he showing off? Even though Cheng Fei had been in prison for 5 years, the people outside the prison were still worried. Because once Cheng Fei was released, they would face the fate of being killed. The law was like that. However, it could be used to punish people. Just as the presiding judge was about to pass the sentence, Cheng Fei closed his eyes and fell to the ground. There was a commotion in the courtroom. The medical staff quickly tried to save Cheng Fei. They checked his pupils and pinched his thumb, but it was useless. Then, Cheng Fei started foaming at the mouth. His whole body started convulsing uncontrollably. It was like epilepsy. Ning Shu couldn't help but laugh. What was Cheng Fei up to? The convulsing Cheng Fei was surrounded by the police and carried into the ambulance. The ambulance drove away. Now that the prisoner was like this, there was no way to continue. Ning Shu's face was as black as the bottom of a pot as he walked out of the courtroom. Mrs. Ai was puzzled. What's wrong with Cheng Fei? I didn't know he had this problem. Professor Ai looked worried. Is Cheng Fei trying to avoid legal responsibility by doing this? In the end, Professor Ai was more accurate. If Cheng Fei did not recover, the court session would be delayed and the verdict would not be announced. Now that Cheng Fei was in such a situation, even if it was out of humanitarianism and the fact that she, as the victim, was not dead, her sentence would probably be reduced. He was afraid that this illness was just the beginning. Ning Shu took a deep breath. Cheng Fei was all by himself. His family wasn't hungry, and he was alone. She had Professor AI and Mother AI. Naturally, there were more things to consider. If Cheng Fei were to throw caution to the wind, who knew what the outcome would be? I think we need to have a good talk with Cheng Fei. Professor AI had a headache. It's not good for anyone if this goes on. It's better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Ning Shu wished for the world to be peaceful and beautiful, but was it possible? The possibility of Dad being involved in this matter is almost zero. Her previous performance in court was like throwing stones at Cheng Fei's head. Cheng Fei appeared to be calm, but it did not mean that he did not hold a grudge. The AI family was not in a good mood, especially the old couple of the AI family. One of them missed his daughter and wanted to turn her into amber all the time. He was too anxious. Because of this matter, he did not have time to talk about the divorce. Ning Shu thought for a while and asked the old couple of the AI family to go back. She would go to the hospital to see how Cheng Fei was doing. Professor AI wanted to go with Ning Shu, but Ning Shu said that she was fine and asked him to go back with Mother AI first. Ning Shu took a taxi to the hospital. 2 policemen were standing at the door of Cheng Fei's ward, one on the left and one on the right, like door gods. As a criminal, Cheng Fei was treated so well and stayed in a single ward. Ning Shu waited at the door. After a while, the doctor and the policeman came out. Ning Shu hurried forward and asked, "How is Cheng Fei?" The doctor said, "The preliminary diagnosis is that he might have been poisoned by overdose of antidepressants. Now we are going to give him a gastric lavage." Ning Shu was a bit confused. Antidepressants? Cheng Fei still took antidepressants? Cheng Fei was pushed into the operating room. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei, who was pushed away from her. Cheng Fei's face was very pale. His eyes were closed and his long eyelashes were close to his eyes. They formed a shadow. What a sleeping beauty! However, there was only one sentence in Ning Shu's heart: "Fuck you." Cheng Fei was a doctor. How could he overdose? It was obvious what was going on. She could not do anything to him. What if he said, "I just want to commit suicide"? Damn it. She really hoped that the gastric lavage would make his stomach perforate. Ning Shu waited at the door of the operating room, waiting for him to come out. They were enemies, but she still had to wait at the door of the operating room. This feeling was hard to describe. After more than an hour, Cheng Fei was pushed out. When he was pushed out, his face was even paler. Ning Shu wanted to follow him into the ward, but she was stopped by the policeman at the door. Cheng Fei was now a suspect. Generally, visitors were not allowed. Ning Shu said that she just wanted to go in and take a look, but she was rejected. If she wanted to visit, she had to go to the police station to do the paperwork. Ning Shu was speechless. This was too troublesome. Ning Shu could only go and do the paperwork. It was difficult for her to go in with the policeman guarding the ward day and night. She could only follow the normal procedure. Ning Shu went to the police station to persuade them to get the paperwork. When she returned to the hospital, she saw the doctor and the policeman holding the manic Cheng Fei back. Cheng Fei's expression was deranged, and his pupils were a little scattered. Moreover, he was very strong. The 2 policemen and 2 doctors guarding the door almost couldn't hold Cheng Fei back. Cheng Fei struggled with all his might. His eyes were red and his handsome face was distorted. His pale face was flushed red. Ning Shu was speechless. She had only left for a while. What happened? Ning Shu really could not keep up with Cheng Fei's pace. Cheng Fei was pressed to the ground. The doctor took a tranquilizer and injected it into his body. The manic Cheng Fei's eyelids gradually closed. He was not so manic anymore. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. Cheng Fei was carried to the hospital bed by a few people. The doctor wiped the sweat on his forehead and said to the policeman, "I advise you to transfer him to the neurology department. This patient doesn't look normal." Ning Shu was speechless. Psychiatry? So Cheng Fei had become crazy. First, he took antidepressants. Now, he was mentally ill. Ning Shu really admired Cheng Fei. Ning Shu moved to the bedside and looked at Cheng Fei, whose face was still red. Get out. Cheng Fei's condition is not stable. When he wakes up, he might hurt someone, Ning Shu said. It's okay. He's asleep now. This is the paperwork for my visit. Ning Shu handed the paperwork to the policeman. Just 10 minutes. You'll be out in 10 minutes. The police officer opened the door and looked at Ning Shu from the doorway. He was afraid that something might happen. Chapter 1361. Ning Shu pulled up the quilt for Cheng Fei, released his spiritual power and scanned the surroundings to see if there were any cameras. It was normal to find a camera in the ward. Hurry up. The police came in and pulled Ning Shu out, then closed the door. Cheng Fei is now a suspect. We can't visit him casually. What's more, Cheng Fei's mental state is unstable. Who knows when he will go crazy? Ning Shu didn't even have time to do anything before she was pulled out. Are you going to transfer him to the psychiatry department? Ning Shu asked. We have already asked for instructions. Cheng Fei must be transferred to the psychiatry department and let the experts examine him. Ning Shu sighed in his heart. They were going to identify a psychopath. Cheng Fei really knew how to play. Sure enough, he wanted to avoid punishment in a psychopathic way. It was very abnormal to turn a person into amber. Combined with some of Cheng Fei's specious words, it was impossible. It was too easy to be judged as a psychopath. Ning Shu turned around and left the hospital to go home. Professor AI and Mrs. AI were waiting for Ning Shu. Professor AI asked Ning Shu, "How is Cheng Fei?" He took an overdose of antidepressants and was poisoned. Ning Shu sat on the sofa and rubbed his eyebrows. Isn't he a doctor? How can he not know the dosage of medicine? Even Mrs. AI felt that something was wrong. Ning Shu spread his hands. There is one more thing that is worse. Cheng Fei seems to be mentally ill. Now he will be transferred to the neurology department. Once he is diagnosed as a psychopath, Cheng Fei will be sent to the psychiatric hospital. As for the attempted murder, it is a complete joke. Professor AI frowned. Even if he is a psychopath, Cheng Fei was conscious at that time and could control his behavior. He will still have to bear criminal responsibility. This depends on the identification of the judicial organization. In fact, whether Cheng Fei was diagnosed as a psychopath or not, it was not optimistic for their family situation. If he was not diagnosed, Cheng Fei would only have 5 years in prison. If he was diagnosed as a psychopath, even if Cheng Fei was forced to be treated by the government, he would be released after a little better. There was no need to bear any criminal responsibility at all. Ning Shu thumped his chest. His heart felt so stifled. He felt like he was in a bad mood. Ning Shu's mother said, "Mom, I'm hungry, let's eat first." She had been running around all day and was really tired. Her body was not tired, but her mind was tired. His heart was filled with helplessness. Mrs. AI was not in the mood to cook at all. She only made 3 bowls of tasteless noodles. While eating the noodles, Mrs. AI suddenly said, "If Cheng Fei is really mentally ill, does that mean that Cheng Fei has always been mentally ill and has always been pretending in front of us?" Ning Shu was speechless. Professor AI, that even if Cheng Fei wasn't crazy, he was a psychopath. Which man would want to turn his wife into amber? Professor AI said, from the very beginning, Cheng Fei was up to no good. The reason why AI Yun is still alive is because he has been practicing the art of making amber. Now that he's getting more and more skilled, and AI Yun is asking for a divorce, he probably noticed that we were suspecting him, so he took action. Mrs. AI's expression changed and she clenched her chopsticks tightly. What should we do? Can't we tell the police? The key is the evidence. Without evidence, everything is just speculation and imagination. Ning Shu spread his hands. Cheng Fei is very vigilant and can't find any strong evidence. As for the adulthood case of Cheng Fei's adoptive parents more than 10 years ago, it was very difficult to reverse the case. At that time, nothing was found, and the family of 3 was turned into bones. No one was willing to waste their energy on this kind of old transnational case. And Ning Shu didn't think that Cheng Fei would leave any useful evidence. The two heart-matching certificates? But could that prove that Cheng Fei was the murderer of his adoptive parents? It couldn't. Although it was beneficial to him and he might have done it, there was no evidence. Evidence. It was even more impossible for Cheng Fei to confess. To be able to kill his adoptive father, obtain the inheritance, and prevent his heart from being taken, it could be seen that Cheng Fei was a person with a strong sense of self-protection. Ning Shu felt that his head was about to explode. In the past, the people he met who valued love above all else had almost zero IQ. They were easier to deal with. But if he met someone who was calm and collected like a hunter, it would be much more difficult to deal with. He could only use special means. During the time that Cheng Fei was in the hospital, Ning Shu went to the hospital almost every day to wait for him. Cheng Fei was transferred to the psychiatric department, and the judicial department came to check if Cheng Fei was mentally ill. Ning Shu was in the hospital, so of course she couldn't see Cheng Fei. She could only stand outside the ward and use her mental power to check the situation in the room. But when her mental power passed through the wall, it became very weak. Ning Shu saw a group of people surrounding the bed. Cheng Fei was tied to the bed and couldn't move. His eyes were a little hollow and he kept struggling. He turned a deaf ear to the doctor's questions and muttered to himself. His reaction to external stimuli was slow and sluggish. Some people were recording Cheng Fei's situation in a notebook. Cheng Fei's face was full of fear, his eyes staring into the void, muttering to himself, and then he wailed. It seemed that he was hallucinating. After a while, he suddenly returned to normal. Looking at the people around him, he asked, "Why did you tie me up? Do you want to kill me?" Then he began to struggle violently, as if he was going to flip the bed over. The doctors around quickly held down the bed and Cheng Fei. For a moment, the ward was in chaos. Ning Shu used his mental power to see that Cheng Fei's head was slightly lowered, the fringe on his forehead covering his eyes, and the corner of his mouth raised. Cheng Fei was smiling, Ning Shu withdrew his mental power, so tired that he felt dizzy. Ning Shu sat down, his head so uncomfortable that he wanted to vomit. It was already very difficult for his mental power to pass through the thick wall, and he had to observe for a long time. His mental power was overdrawn. This kind of tiredness couldn't be relieved by sleeping. He felt like his soul was throbbing. Cheng Fei was indeed pretending to be mentally ill, but he was pretending as if he was really mentally ill. Looking at Cheng Fei's expression, he seemed to be having a good time teasing him. Cheng Fei would probably keep pretending until he went to the mental hospital. Perverts were not scary, but cultured perverts were scary. Cultured perverts were not scary, but cultured perverts were scary with high IQ. A person like Cheng Fei was extremely lethal. Ning Shu rubbed his forehead and sneered. It was funny to think that Cheng Fei was mentally ill. Cheng Fei was injected with a tranquilizer, and the doctor loosened the straps that bound Cheng Fei. They planned to lock him in the ward and observe Cheng Fei's behavior through the camera. Ning Shu didn't have much hope for these experts. He was afraid that the next time he met Cheng Fei would be in a mental hospital. Chapter 1362. In the end, Cheng Fei was diagnosed with a mental disorder. Of course, this was only confirmed after a long period of observation. Usually, when Cheng Fei was alone in the ward, he would either squat at the wall for a long time, mumble to himself, or go crazy. Basically, there was no normal time. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. If Cheng Fei could really be so cruel as to eat shit, he would believe that Cheng Fei was really crazy. Cheng Fei had no family. His only wife was his only wife. He wanted to turn her into amber, so he was forcibly treated by the government and sent to a mental hospital. Ning Shu watched as Cheng Fei was taken to a car and sent to the mental hospital. Cheng Fei tilted his head and looked at Ning Shu, who was standing not far away. Ning Shu curled his lips. It was really a wicked smile. It was really fun to be around people. Ning Shu also smiled. He walked over and patted Cheng Fei's back. "Stay in the mental hospital. I'll go back and see you." Cheng Fei frowned. It seemed that he was hurt by Ning Shu's pat. Then he said, "Okay, I'll wait for you." Cheng Fei was taken to the car. He even turned around and smiled at Ning Shu. Ning Shu waved his hand and said, "I'll definitely go and see you." Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu through the car window. Ning Shu waved his hand. Parting was always sad. "Cheng Fei, you can stay in the mental hospital for the rest of your life." After that, Ning Shu went through the procedures and took a pot of chicken soup to the mental hospital to see Cheng Fei. Before she left, Mrs. AI stuffed an electric anti-pervert device into Ning Shu's bag. She told Ning Shu to be careful. It was very dangerous in the mental hospital. Ning Shu nodded and took the thermos to the mental hospital. The mental hospital that Cheng Fei was in was a state-run one. High walls isolated the inside from the outside world. There were electric fences around it. It looked like a prison. This was a prison. Ning Shu took the paperwork and was taken to the ward by the nurse. The corridor was filled with crazy patients in hospital gowns. One of them was singing an opera, loudly singing, "My country is gone." One of them thought he was a dog, crawling on the ground and barking. These people were either in a daze or had gone mad. If she stayed with these people, even if she wasn't sick, she would still get sick. Suddenly, someone stretched out his hand and grabbed Ning Shu. "You demonic woman! You've brought disaster to the world. See if I don't deal with you." Ning Shu was speechless. There were so many different species here. The nurse who led the way for Ning Shu just looked at him coldly. She didn't want to help. Ning Shu shook off the patient who was grabbing him. His strength was so great that the patient took 2 steps back. "Oh, this demoness is too strong. Wait for me to go back and get my magic treasure." Then he ran away with his tail between his legs. With a cold face, the nurse brought Ning Shu to the door of a ward and said, "Cheng Fei is inside." Ning Shu handed a bag of fruit to the nurse. There was a red packet inside. "Take this fruit. I want to talk to Cheng Fei." The nurse's expression became a little better. She took the fruit bag from Ning Shu's hand and reached into the pocket of her uniform to take out the red packet. "You'd better hurry. You have half an hour at most," the nurse said. Ning Shu walked in and the nurse closed the door. The ward was a little narrow. There was a very high and small window. People couldn't even climb out. The ward was very empty. Other than the narrow bed, there was no table or bench. In particular, some dangerous things would not be placed in the ward. If the patient was delirious and held dangerous things, he could hurt himself or others. The incandescent light in the ward was on. The light flickered occasionally. It was a little scary. Cheng Fei was the only one in the ward. He was sitting on the bed, reading a book with his head down. Ning Shu walked over with a thermos. Cheng Fei looked up and saw Ning Shu. He smiled and put down the book in his hand. "You're here." Cheng Fei moved his body and made room for Ning Shu. Damn, Cheng Fei's life was so comfortable. He didn't look like a lunatic at all. Ning Shu released his spiritual force and scanned the whole ward. He found that there were surveillance cameras in the 4 corners of the room. Obviously, everyone who entered this place was being watched. Ning Shu opened the thermos and gave Cheng Fei a spoon. "Eat it. My mother made it." Cheng Fei took the thermos, sniffed it, and shook his head. "It's not made by mother-in-law. She likes orange peel. It doesn't smell like orange peel. It only smells like Chinese medicine." Ning Shu spread his hands. "Okay, I made it." Cheng Fei picked up the spoon and tasted it. He couldn't help but shake his head. "You cooked everything in the pot. The ingredients are not layered. It doesn't taste good." Ning Shu was speechless. As a lunatic, even if he was given a pile of shit, he should eat it happily. Did the experts who said that he was mentally ill know what he was like now? Cheng Fei put down the thermos and stopped eating. Ning Shu was speechless. Did she make it that bad? Ning Shu took a spoon and tasted it. "I think it's okay. It was not bad. It was good enough to have something to eat." Cheng Fei smiled. "Is it not good?" "I think it's delicious." "Is the food here very good?" "Is the food exquisite?" "Don't joke. There were so many people eating in the same pot. How could the food be exquisite? It was almost like feeding pigs." Cheng Fei said, "The food here is indeed not good. I eat it to ensure my body's energy needs." But it doesn't stop me from commenting on the soup you made. Eat some more. Maybe you won't be able to drink my soup in the future. Ning Shu put the thermos in Cheng Fei's hand. Cheng Fei smiled. You shouldn't be making soup with your bare hands. The oil and fumes hurt the skin more than time. Ning Shu was speechless. But Cheng Fei picked up the spoon and ate in small mouthfuls. He only drank the soup and didn't eat the chicken. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei's head and said, Cheng Fei, you have white hair. You're only in your 30s. How can your hair be white? You must have thought too much and calculated too much. Ning Shu reached out and touched Cheng Fei's hair. It's not just 1 or 2 strands of white hair. Then please help me pluck them out. Cheng Fei leaned his head closer to Ning Shu. This is the mark of time. Ai Yun, I always hope that you can maintain your beautiful appearance and not have your white hair stolen by time. Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu ignored Cheng Fei's words and reached out to touch Cheng Fei's hair. It hurts a little. Bear with it. Ning Shu pulled out a strand of white hair and showed it to Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei looked at the white hair. I hope you don't have this on your head. Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu continued to pluck Cheng Fei's hair. An invisible silver needle was clipped on Ning Shu's hand and pierced into Cheng Fei's head. Cheng Fei frowned and immediately grabbed Ning Shu's hand. Ning Shu's fingers loosened and the silver needle fell to the ground. It was almost invisible. His thumb and index finger pinched a strand of white hair. Chapter 1363. Cheng Fei's pupils constricted as he stared at Ning Shu. Ning Shu tilted his head and looked at him. What's wrong? Cheng Fei let go of Ning Shu's hand. He had just felt numb. You have white hair on your head. Do you want me to pluck it? Ning Shu asked. Cheng Fei shook his head. No need. He handed the thermos to Ning Shu. You should leave. You shouldn't have come to this place. I'll come back for you when I'm out. Ning Shu wanted to say, don't come looking for me. Ning Shu reached out and plucked a strand of white hair from Cheng Fei's head. Cheng Fei hissed in pain. Let's go. Cheng Fei picked up the book. Ning Shu waved his hand. Ning Shu stepped on the silver needle. She moved her leg forward and placed the silver needle under the bed. Ning Shu put his hand in his pocket and said, the white hair on your head is an eyesore. I'll pluck it for you. Otherwise, I'll keep thinking about it. Ning Shu didn't care about Cheng Fei's objection. She reached out her hand and pulled Cheng Fei's hair. Cheng Fei rubbed his head and felt his scalp go numb. What are you doing? Cheng Fei's face darkened. You should leave. Ning Shu shrugged and left with the thermos. I'll come and see you next time. Ning Shu stared at Cheng Fei's head. You have white hair on your head. I'll pluck it for you next time. Cheng Fei said, you don't have to come. I don't want you to see me like this. I'll appear in front of you in my best and most perfect state. Ning Shu thought, then I'll die. Ning Shu shook his head. No. I like seeing you like this. I like it more than seeing you in your best state. Cheng Fei smiled. You're really different. You look beautiful in amber. Ning Shu smiled. Thank you for the compliment. Visiting hours are over. You should leave, the nurse said to Ning Shu as she opened the door. Ning Shu glanced at Cheng Fei and turned to leave. The nurse locked the door, leaving Cheng Fei alone inside. Ning Shu secretly gave the nurse a red packet and wanted to find Cheng Fei's attending doctor. Ning Shu gave the attending doctor a big red packet and said, Cheng Fei, I'll have to trouble you. His condition is a little serious. I don't want any less medicine. Also, do you think it's possible for Cheng Fei to recover? The attending doctor said, Cheng Fei's situation is a bit complicated. He doesn't think he's sick, but he's actually sick. It's a bit troublesome to treat him. Ning Shu nodded and told the doctor to take good care of Cheng Fei. After leaving the office, Ning Shu saw the nurse complaining non-stop. When the nurse saw Ning Shu, she said, don't bring food for Cheng Fei next time. Cheng Fei just vomited all over the room. It's troublesome to clean it up. Ning Shu replied, got it. Vomited? Cheng Fei must have dug his own throat to make him vomit. Did he think that she poisoned the soup? Ning Shu just smiled. After leaving the mental hospital, Ning Shu looked up at the high walls. The mental hospital was a very depressing place. The management of the hospital was very rough and the people around were not normal. They had to eat medicine 3 times a day. Even normal people would be infected by this aura of despair. Ning Shu turned and left. He walked on the mountainside. The mental hospital was built on a remote mountainside. There were only taxis at the foot of the mountain. Ning Shu hailed a taxi and went home. When Mrs. AI saw Ning Shu, she heaved a sigh of relief. Did anything happen? Ning Shu sat down. I'm fine. Then he put the thermos on the coffee table. Mrs. AI opened the thermos and saw that the chicken was still inside. He didn't eat it. No, he only drank some soup and vomited. He thinks that I poisoned the soup. Mrs. AI didn't look good. Don't visit him in the future. He is crazy. What if he hurts you? Ning Shu nodded. She would go again next time. She had to get rid of Cheng Fei. Cheng Fei didn't believe her. He ate her food and vomited it. She was speechless. After Cheng Fei vomited all over the room, the nurse didn't let her bring any more food. Cheng Fei liked to scheme. Ning Shu also started to work in the school. As a tutor, she did everything. She cared about the students' thoughts, studies and lives. She served the students in all aspects. At first, she couldn't get used to it. But after a few days, Ning Shu got the hang of it and wasn't as flustered as before. When the students had headaches or fevers, they would look for her if they had any problems. Of course, a tutor had to be outstanding in a certain field. Professor AI had enrolled Ning Shu in a foreign language. Luckily, Ning Shu knew some foreign languages. Otherwise, she would be exposed. The original AI Yun was very good at foreign languages. She had enough time. Sometimes, working wasn't just for survival. It was also for self-worth. During the weekend, Ning Shu went to the mental hospital again. She lost money again. This time, the nurse didn't bring Ning Shu to Cheng Fei's room. Instead, she brought him to the courtyard. Cheng Fei was sitting on a bench in the courtyard. His eyes were slightly closed. There were lunatics running around him, laughing and laughing. Cheng Fei turned a deaf ear. Ning Shu walked over and stood in front of Cheng Fei, blocking the sunlight. Cheng Fei's eyelashes fluttered and he opened his eyes. Ning Shu was standing against the sunlight. He couldn't see Ning Shu's face clearly. You're here. Cheng Fei leaned back on the bench. Ning Shu sat beside him and asked, How have you been? What do you think a lunatic's life is like? Cheng Fei asked. Ning Shu said, Well, a lunatic wouldn't be like you. Cheng Fei smiled. The sunlight shone on his face and the tiny hairs on his face turned golden. Ning Shu stared at Cheng Fei's hair. Let's continue plucking hair. Cheng Fei shook his head. I don't want to. Come on. Don't be stubborn. Ning Shu reached out and pulled Cheng Fei's hair with force. Cheng Fei hissed. It hurts. It's okay. It will hurt even more. Ning Shu pulled harder and Cheng Fei groaned. Ning Shu blew the white hair on his hand. Looks like you are older than me. If you want to be made into amber, you have to be made into amber first. Cheng Fei said indifferently, I don't care. As long as you are prettier than me. You are too polite. You are more handsome than me. If you want to die, you will die first. Ning Shu pulled Cheng Fei's hair again. You are prematurely aging. Cheng Fei smiled. That's how I am. It doesn't matter. Do you want to hear about my past? Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu. Cheng Fei had lost weight. He had stubble and looked like he had been through a lot. No, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know. Cheng Fei was surprised. Didn't you want to know about my past? But I don't want to know anymore. You don't have to tell me. Ning Shu pulled another strand of white hair from Cheng Fei's head. Chapter 1364. Ning Shu held a silver needle between her fingers and pulled off Cheng Fei's white hair bit by bit. Cheng Fei's face didn't change. Occasionally his face would twitch. You could tell that Ning Shu didn't hold back. Cheng Fei said, I was abandoned at the entrance of the orphanage when I was 4 or 5 years old. There was a woman's voice in my memory. She told me to stay there and not move. She didn't come back. I was brought back to the orphanage by the head of the orphanage. There were many children like me. They looked at me cautiously. My food was always taken away by them. Children were not innocent and cute. In that place, children were not innocent and cute at all. Even if they were innocent and cute, it was because they were adopted. They smiled innocently and happily. Ning Shuzhen listened to Cheng Fei quietly while plucking her hair. Later, my adoptive parents adopted me. But they did it for my heart. So you killed them? Ning Shu interrupted. Cheng Fei shook his head. You don't know what I was thinking. I hoped that my sister's heart could last longer. When I grew up, I could leave my adoptive parents, Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu, I don't believe a word you said. His wish came true. He wanted to leave his adoptive parents' family, but then they died. I thought something happened to Cheng Fei. How come nothing happened to Cheng Fei? Man proposes, God disposes. First, man proposes. Then, God disposes. Ning Shu was indifferent to Cheng Fei's reminiscence. You were the most pitiful. Ai Yun's family wasn't pitiful. Did Ai Yun deserve to be made into amber? Cheng Fei's experience was pardonable, wasn't it? Who would have thought that Ai Yun would be made into amber? She sacrificed her soul to fight back. You suffered, so you deserved to be forgiven. Cheng Fei couldn't prove his innocence. At least, Ning Shu was indifferent. Being handsome didn't mean that what you did was right. You think I killed my adoptive parents? Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu and asked. Ning Shu shrugged and didn't say anything. Although there was no evidence, it didn't mean that Cheng Fei didn't do it. Ning Shu was too lazy to pluck Cheng Fei's white hair. He took out a document from his bag. This is the divorce agreement. Sign it. Cheng Fei took the document, looked at the agreement on it and said, Do you think I will divorce you? Ning Shu smiled and said, Why wouldn't I? Placing the document on the bench, Cheng Fei crossed his fingers and calmly said, The marriage law states that husband and wife have the obligation to raise each other. If one of them is sick or unable to work, the one who can afford it has to take the initiative to raise the child. Ning Shu nodded. There is such a law, but don't forget that the couple's relationship has to be broken. You want to turn me into amber and take away my life. Do you think we still have feelings for each other? Of course, Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu was speechless. At this moment, a lunatic grabbed the agreement on the bench and ran away like a lunatic. Cheng Fei shrugged. It seems that we can't sign it. Ning Shu didn't care. You can apply for a divorce in court. It will be a bit troublesome, but you will get a divorce. Even if you don't agree, the court will force you to divorce. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu deeply. Do you really want to do this? Okay, I have to go. I wish you a perfect life in the mental hospital. Ning Shu stood up from the bench and said calmly. As for the divorce, you don't have to worry about it. I don't care if you killed your foster parents or not. Ning Shu looked at Cheng Fei with a smile. Seeing the smile on Ning Shu's face, Cheng Fei suddenly said, I think you should be the one staying here. Ayun, you are very sick. Ning Shu shook his head. But you are the one staying here. You are the one who is very sick. I can get out of here soon. Ayun, maybe I'm sick, but have you ever thought that birds of a feather flock together? We are all sick. Maybe we are friends. Ning Shu turned and left. Cheng Fei rubbed his temples and felt a headache. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu's back. It was getting more and more blurry. Cheng Fei closed his eyes and fainted. Ning Shu left the mental hospital. After some time, she would return to the mental hospital again. Ning Shu was very busy every day. He had to take care of the students. He was also responsible for the mental health of the students. Ning Shu felt that with her own thoughts, she would definitely lead these students into a ditch. For example, there was a beautiful girl now. Her face was red and she wanted to say something but stopped. She was very conflicted. Mr. AI, I have a question for you. Let's talk outside. The female student said. Ning Shu nodded and walked out of the office with the female student. They walked on the tree-lined path in the school. Professor AI, I have something that I want to ask for your opinion on. Please don't tell anyone. Ning Shu nodded. Go ahead. It is a man. A man wants me to accompany him for 4 years. 150,000 a year until I graduate. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows. Why is it only 150,000? You are still young. Since he asked for money, it means that he has a family. Yes. The female student hesitated. Ning Shu said, let's not talk about morality. From a financial point of view, you are obviously losing out. You are in your first year. If you really agree to the deal, you will be summoned by him anytime. What about your studies? You should be the one to study and have a bright future. While everyone else is working hard, you're stuck in bed. You have to give up your body, time, and dignity. It doesn't seem to be hard, but you will lose your future. There is no guarantee, no contract, no legal guarantee. You may be cheated. What if he plays you for free? You will be empty-handed and your youth will be gone. The female student's face was a little pale. What if you are pregnant? Since he has a family, the child cannot be born. He will definitely make you abort the child. You can take it. Once you accept it, you will be his personal item. He can do whatever he wants. You will respect him. If he has any weird habits, you will have to bear with it. He will take away your youth, your body, and your future. Just 150,000. It will be like whoring. He will cheat you because you are young and ignorant. The female student. The teacher's words were so rough. That's why you have to study hard now. You have to work hard for 5 or 10 years. Whatever that old bitch has, you have it too. Ning Shu patted her shoulder. Chapter 1365. In the future, you will meet a better man than that old bastard. Love yourself and others will love and respect you. A man who cheats on his wife. What kind of man do you expect him to be? Thank you, sir. I will think about it. Please don't tell anyone about this, the female student said. Ning Shu nodded. Don't worry. Think about it carefully. 150,000 is too little. Even if the body has a price, it will not be so little. No matter what happened, the body will leave a mark. When that time came, she would want to find an honest man. How could there be so many honest men in the world? In fact, the price of this was too high. It was not worth it at all. At first glance, the cost was small, but the benefits might be great. When there was a chance of loss, it seemed like a gain without any loss. However, the body was a gift from the heavens. Cherishing it did not mean being conservative. Sir, for someone like you, your husband must love you very much, the female student said. Ning Shu was speechless. He loved you so much that he wanted to kill you. Ning Shu went to the court to apply for a divorce. She did not feel safe living with a crazy husband who wanted to kill her at any time. The court would definitely agree to the divorce. There was no need for a divorce certificate to dissolve the marriage. After a while, Ning Shu went to see Cheng Fei. He saw that Cheng Fei's movements were a little stiff. It was a little like Parkinson's. Cheng Fei saw Ning Shu and slowly sat down on the chair. Ning Shu said, I haven't seen you for a while. Your bones are rusty. Cheng Fei rubbed his legs and looked at Ning Shu. I might have Parkinson's. Maybe the next time you come, my brain will have shrunk and I will have dementia. I will not recognize you anymore, Cheng Fei said. Ning Shu sat beside him. How do you know that you have Parkinson's? I am a doctor. Ning Shu just nodded and did not say anything. I thought about it and felt that there are some things that I should tell you. Ning Shu nodded. Go ahead. I am listening. Cheng Fei asked, does my current condition have anything to do with you? Of course it doesn't matter. Do you think I'm a god who can make you sick just because I want you to? Cheng Fei held Ning Shu's hand. My biggest regret in this life is not being able to retain your beauty. Thank the heavens for not letting you keep my beauty. Ning Shu clasped his hands together and prayed to the heavens. Cheng Fei tilted his head and looked at Ning Shu. One day you will understand me. In the passing of life, I will preserve my most beautiful moments forever. Time can't do anything about it. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying that people are going to die anyway, so they might as well commit suicide wisely. Is that right? Cheng Fei was a little confused. You've changed the concept. This is different. Ning Shu stood up. I think it's the same. This time, I'm here to tell you that the court has ruled that we are divorced. So, we are no longer husband and wife. This is the last time that I'm here to see you. Ning Shu looked around. Although it is surrounded by high walls, this place is quite suitable for retirement. Cheng Fei looked at Ning Shu. Do you think that I can only spend the rest of my life in this place? No, I don't doubt your ability. I just mean that this place is quite suitable for you, Ning Shu said. Cheng Fei smiled, but the muscles on his face were trembling uncontrollably. Cheng Fei had lost weight again. I have a passbook at home. You can use it. Thank you. I'm already working at the university and I get paid. I have already paid for your hospitalization fees. You can stay here for as long as you want. You don't have to thank me. Cheng Fei's eyes were full of smiles. He still looked like a pet that was baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. You can do whatever you want. I won't be angry. Ning Shu was speechless. Ning Shu took a deep breath. I'm not angry either. I'm leaving then. Take care of yourself and read more books when you are free. I brought a few books for you. Ning Shu took out the books from his bag and placed them on the bench. Cheng Fei started reading. Conscience, Be a Good Person, The Education of Love. Are these for me? Cheng Fei tilted his head and asked. Ning Shu nodded. Yes, these are for you. Read more. Cheng Fei smiled and said, Okay, I will read them. I like talking to you like this. Ning Shu felt that her interaction with Cheng Fei was a little strange. But Cheng Fei was as steady as a mountain. She couldn't act rashly. So, she had to be calm too. Cheng Fei waved to Ning Shu. I hope to see you again next time. Maybe. Only ghosts would come. Ning Shu walked out of the mental hospital. He raised his hand and looked at the silver needle between his fingers. The thin needle suddenly broke. Ning Shu threw away the remaining half of the silver needle. The silver needles couldn't withstand the qi energy at all. It was just a little bit of qi energy, and the silver needles broke. The broken needle stayed in the acupuncture point. The force and the needle kept stimulating the acupuncture point. Ning Shu walked down the mountain with her head held high and her chest puffed out. If Cheng Fei's brain really atrophied, he would be transferred to another hospital for treatment. So, she had to keep an eye on Cheng Fei's condition. She didn't know how long this mission would take. Ning Shu started all kinds of exams. Now that he was a graduate student again, he had to get a certificate and become a professor. After all, being a mentor was too tough. It was easier to be a professor, but it was too tough in the early stages. Occasionally, Ning Shu had to be a temporary translator. He didn't earn much, but he could communicate with people. Ning Shu also went to the mental hospital. But he didn't meet Cheng Fei. He just wanted to see how Cheng Fei was doing. Cheng Fei's condition was more serious. His brain atrophied and he could only sit in a wheelchair. Cheng Fei's face was so thin that only a layer of skin was left. His chin was sharp, but his eyes were still calm. He flipped the pages with difficulty. He seemed to feel that someone was watching him. He turned around and met Ning Shu's eyes. Ning Shu was discovered. He stood up and walked to Cheng Fei. You're here. Cheng Fei closed the book and turned his neck to look at Ning Shu. He looked at Ning Shu carefully. You seem to be more beautiful. That's because I'm the most beautiful when I spread my wings, Ning Shu said. I'm beautiful because of myself. It's a pity that you didn't preserve it. It would be better if you could keep this beauty forever. Cheng Fei said regretfully. Ning Shu was speechless. Why did this person want to turn her into amber all the time? Had he never thought that she would die? She would be dead. There was no breath, no pulse of life. I said that you would understand me. Life is temporary, but you will exist forever. Ning Shu really couldn't understand. So what if it was preserved forever? So what if it was a summer worm that didn't know winter? So what if it was temporary? As long as they could live, they wouldn't understand each other. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.